And welcome all to tonight's official coverage of the Asrnz 2025 GT3 series. It is round one. It is again proudly brought to you by MATCHFIT Entertainment and the good people at Race Command. We're at ZANDV0ORT here tonight for round one. I'm Davo, and as always, I have a J-Man right by my side. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, good, Davo. Evening viewers, welcome back to another year, another season. Yeah, looking forward to this one, mate. Weather looks good out there. Plenty of drivers out on track. What's in store tonight, Davo? We got a sprint round on, I believe.
Yes, sprint round for tonight here at ZANDV0ORT after a cracking shakedown at Hungaroring last week, J-Man. So yes, a sprint tonight, which consists of two 40-minute races with CPS in both, two qualifying sessions, CPS in both for tyres. So that is the format for tonight. We are as well going to give away at the end of this stream, we're going to give someone a bit of a prize for the best painted car in the series tonight as well. So stick around for that, ladies and gentlemen, after the post-race driver interviews. J-Man, 9-round series here at Asrnz for season one. This is just kicking things off, and the boys are kicking things off out there in qualifying at the moment. Let's get to some action.
So we'll pick up on the action, which is the first phase. Obviously, these 16-minute qualifying sessions broken into two, so that we can spread these fields class-wise, and everyone gets a fair run at it. So,
yes,
first cabs off the rank, you will have your, I believe you'll have your AMs and your Pro-AMs out there, and backed up with the final 8 minutes being covered by your pros. And just having a look, we've already got a couple of banker times in. Wally Baker, Louis Van in there with a couple of 36s, a 36.3 for Wally in the McLaren, and then a 36.7 in there for Louis. Phil Davison, Phil Turner, both the Phils just banking a couple of 38s there already. So time's already flying, and you can't spend too long here mucking around. You just got to go and get out there and get into it. Now, we did see Aaron Enright post a time. Ben Collins quickly to the provisional front row for that class there on a 36.4, so that's pretty tight at the top. A track that you and I both, mate, love calling the races here, and certainly have had a lot of fun driving here over the years, mate. It's a pretty specky track, very, very inviting. Turn one with all the camber into there really can send these cars in super, super hot into there, and then just the first sector through 2, 3, 4, quite technical.
Yes,
you know, got to really make sure that you get the car on point. But once you get out of there, you can really let the car unleash up and over the hill, down into the infield. Eddie Fickery now 36.1, so it's tight. Timmy Nash in there as well, 36.2. It's very, very tight. These guys super competitive. The admin team here do an absolutely fantastic job of making sure the classification about where you're racing is pretty bang on, and they can shuffle this around over the first few rounds to make sure that it's right. But look, straight off the bat, Dave, I think they've done a great job already. They've got history with a lot of these drivers. They know kind of where they're at. Some guys stepping up this year, some guys maybe not so much, maybe staying in the same class, or even maybe stepping down a class. We'll work that over the coming weeks. But as you mentioned, first round here is a good showing. I think we did have somewhat 42 entries, I think it was.
42? Yeah, something like
32
that.
or 42? No, I feel like it was 42.
It was 42. And probably about 30-odd custom-painted cars out of that lot. So
yes, so
colourful
slightly
feel.
Different stance this year from Asrnz, opting for people to encourage the drivers to skin their cars this year. And then if they don't, it is a full custom locked out grid. So I guess if they didn't paint one, admin would have done a custom in-game one for them. So, but look, a lot of good paint work out there. You and I are going to dissect that a little bit later on. And,
We are excited.
you know,
Yep.
you and I know the results already, so we'll just keep everybody in suspense for the next 2 40-minute races and call it at the end of the night. Should be a good one.
Yeah, look, it was great fun. End of last year, the last GT3 season we did for Asrnz MATCHFIT, giving away a $100 gift there to, I think it was maybe Vic Chan's Bentley. I think it was last year. So, yeah, always tightly contested. It is very difficult. You and I go through all of this stuff, and yeah, so many nice cars out there, Jamie. It's hard to choose sometimes. So.
Oh yeah, very much so, and you know we love it. It's almost becoming an iconic part of the season for us pre-season, or just as the season kicks off, for you and I to sit there and have a bit of a drink and deliberate over what we think is the good, the bad, and well, I wouldn't say ugly, but certainly
well, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it as we see that Nash time 35.8, super close to Wally Baker's 35.9, super competitive in class here. These guys goes right back out to, I think it is Ryan Smith, who's a newcomer for me. I don't remember calling Ryan's name, so welcome aboard to Asrnz, Ryan. Good to have you on board there in the McLaren. So, and he rounds out P14 at the moment for that. He is actually nearly half a second up. What would that do for him? Next cab off the rank would be Uncle Joe, 39.6. So he needs a fair bit.
He does need a fair bit, as we just see Factory roll across the line, J-Man, to put that car on top. So,
yeah,
plenty.
I believe Steve-O coming across. Dave, just looking at the cars that had already crossed the line, I think we do have probably around 5 or 6 cars, maybe 5 cars that were still on their laps in respect of the Pro-Am and Am class still running, but we do have the big hitters rolling out now. We've got the likes of I think Moss Chan, Webley, Niparis, Haas, Aerosmith, a winner from the shakedown. Very, very good showing for Stewie. Got a little bit of belief, and he should, because you and I both know the caliber of racer he is.
No, absolutely, J-Man. And just watching Vic Chan actually timing that pit lane timer running down there to the second as he rolled across the exit line there, like literally to the second. So
yeah, Damien Jones, aka Jarkus, did go provisionally front row for that Pro-Am class there, mate, just in behind Fackery. And his nearest rival, Steve Mowling, he is currently P11, trying to get that Mustang.
Just that little bit more, trying to squeeze a little bit more out of the Mustang, J-Man. Only a couple of more corners to do it in too, as he just loses a bit of time there. Bit of a bounce off that awkward little chicane there as he runs into this final complex here.
Nash just picks up that spot back as well. There, just goes P2 provisionally, just with a 35.6. Plays the 35.5 of Factory.
Very nice.
So, yeah, good to stay in it for as long as he could. I think that served him well, Timmy Nash. So good to see Nash back in a Ferrari this season. And so just trying to pick up.
First car on track is actually Stu Smith, I believe. Yes, I think Vic Chan is the next in the Porsche. You can just see him in back of shot there, actually.
Yep. So Stewie with the Falcon inspired BMW Davo, a classic, well, an iconic paint job, been around for a long time in the GT series. So good looking car. It wears it well, does the BMW?
It does. Just picking up on Wembley there, just as the camera's flicked across to him there, big sideways out of turn, I think it was 3 or 4 there before they hit the little hairpin there at the bottom of the hill. So definitely getting some heat into the tyres in that Mustang is Wembley.
Yep. Couple of apologies tonight. I'm sure there's more than a couple, but 2 mentions that I can think of is one of them's tuning in now. Philangtoon, aka Maverick. Good to see you tuning in. Shame not to have you on the grid.
Yes.
But looking forward to catching up next week. And then also Steve Rees. So Steve Rees not able to get out there on track tonight. So hope all is well, boys. And
yeah, definitely. And yeah, enjoy the stream, guys. Enjoy the stream.
Yeah,
I think John McDonald actually in that short list as well.
JB.
JB. Yep.
So anyway, we will pick back up on the action. The 72 car, where is he? He's still got the 333 car in tow. So now, can Stewie carry over the form from last week? I think he's got a handle on this BMW straight up to P2, 35.6. Chan up there on a 35.2, goes straight to the top. Where is the sideways Webley you spoke of?
Yes, Mr. Webley. Where's Mr. Webley?
Oh, straight to the top.
Oh, there. Well, that explains that. He was on the start-finish straight and bring it home.
Warren Baker, how you, mate? Sorry if I called you early. No, I didn't. I hadn't. Sorry. But yeah, good to have you on board. WB, always an advocate to tune into the stream, mate. We appreciate the support. Now, look at that delta of Vic Chan's going nuts. Where is he? He's about sector 2 in the lap, still chasing Stewie Arrowsmith.
Yeah, so they're both in the back half of the lap there, and both well up on their deltas. Arrowsmith obviously got plenty of work to do as Mossy puts the big Mercedes-Benz into third position. Factory holding down fourth, J-Man. Good banker lap there for Factory as we just pick up on Arrowsmith again here, running through that really switchback style set of corners there. It's hardly a chicane, is it? It is just it's a very awkward set of corners that, and
it is
out on to the start finish straight once again up on the delta. But you did mention in tow is Vic Chan, and showing a clean set of heels is Chan.
Good numbers. 34.7.
Here comes Webley. Oh.
Okay, so Webley.
So Chan's got him.
So it must have been a track cut in there because no improvement. 34.955.
Nice work from Arrowsmith. Just pipping Moss there for number 3. Both on. Nippers.
Nips is in there, mate. He's brought the GDR to the party. So we go Porsche, we go Mustang, Nissan, BMW, Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Aston.
Wow.
We're back to McLaren. So we have a massive spread of manufacturers through the top 10.
Yes, haven't we what? And that is good to see. Just shows that BOP is clearly working here, at least at Zandvoort here tonight, amongst the manufacturers.
Yep. So another guy away is Shane Fodderday, because he is tuned into the stream.
Oh, okay.
And I
Shane
actually did
on
pick
holidays.
That up.
Yes.
Yeah, he's on holidays. I did pick that up in a bit of a chat during the week. So, Shane-o, good to have you tuning in, mate. And yeah, I'm sure you'll be watching with interest to see who does the business tonight. Drop round the season, so won't be too bad.
Webley, good number. If he can hold that delta as he gets it very sideways. He has still got Chan. Didn't lose much from that, but damn, that looked hectic.
Yeah. He'll have enough.
Oh, there it is.
34.4. Time's running down. He's still got time for one more lap. He won't get any more, I don't believe, based on the clock, but he fires it into turn 1 really aggressively. He's really got the bit between his teeth now in this Mustang.
Always spectacular to watch, J-Man. Reminds me a little bit of Shane Fodderday style as we just watched Jordan Moss across the line. Watch this. Pips Arrowsmith.
He does.
Puts it back in third. So that's a big chunk for Mossy there.
Appleton Estate to P3. Don't mind about Appleton's. Okay, who else? Mitchie Haas. Now, Mitchie Haas, I think, I saw on a number. Where did he go? Oh. Where did he go?
He went
P11. He went P11.
Wadsworth also just early in his lap. One of the out of the Giga Racing family here. Showing a clean set of heels here tonight and not far from Tim Nash's time. So I suspect he will still have his head down for this, what will be his final lap And like you mentioned, Haas definitely well up on his delta. Chan still out there circulating, as is Webley.
Carson also, he's got a couple of tenths up his sleeve. Just looking at what that'll do for him, it certainly could push him towards, if he carries on the lap, he could go from currently what is P15 to maybe P13 or 12 if he just grabs a little bit more out. It's pretty tight there. It's pretty tight between Shieldsy, Robertson, Van Aventa, Carson. So be interested to see what he can do with this Aston. But yeah, not minimal gains at the moment there for Wadsworth. The Delta's just going away a little bit. It's actually Mitchie Haas that's actually building into the lap quite nicely. Oh, though that was very...
Oh, yeah. Just got the tail out. A little bit of an unforced error there for Carson. It's put him off his...
Yeah, he's just grabbed one spot. Yep. So Carson up to 14 from 15th. Wadsworth, I think that's it. He maybe crossed the line. Yeah, after the thing. So that'll be all she wrote. So Webley takes the pole position over Vic Chan, Jordan Moss, Stewie Aerosmith, Matty Nipris, Eddie Thackeray with a great lap as well as Tim Nash also as well. Remembering that those guys qualified out of class in the earlier part of the session. Wadsworth 8th, DJ, aka Jarkus, their 9th, and Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker doing a great job in the McLaren, so that is Wally.
Absolutely, J-Man.
And then a massive field like behind them. I'm looking at the names there from 11 throughout. Haas is a guy that we know when he gets that thing hooked up, he'll be right up towards the pointy end of this field. Shields also in a great spot of form at the moment. Looking at Melling, Enright, P20, P21. They'll be coming to terms with those Mustangs again this season, just trying to get those things really hooked up. And do we have a Rusty Shackelford late to the grid as well, P25?
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So that is very, very cool. So, yeah, it was a good lap from Baker there, Slambo.
So, yes, as usual, a couple of, well, at least Wally there, punching above his weight there a little bit, J-Man.
Yeah, look, it's a new year,
10.
it's a new season, and, you know, we just don't know what to expect at the moment. You know, we know how good Stewie Aerosmith is. We saw it, we got a glimpse of it last week again at the shakedown, had a great battle with Maverick. But yeah, Webley, if Webley can do Webley things, we've seen the class he's got. That battle between, no discredit to Jordan Moss, but I think that Webley and Chan is going to be a really stout battle. If they go to war, that could play big dividends for Moss, Aerosmith as well, and Matt Nipris with a strong showing at the shakedown as well. So
yeah, and obviously Thackeray just on that row as well, J-Man. So nice work. Timmy Nash in 7th, Wadsworth in 8th, Damien Jones in 9th, and Wally Baker. Is it Warren or Wally? Warren.
Wally there. Yep. Wally there for yep.
Yeah, just sneaking in there in the top 10. So nice work.
Yep.
As we count down.
And on that note too, you know, you look at that there, you know, Wally Baker with a really good lap, and then we look at some of the signings. Obviously, we've had a bit of a change from 24 to 25, and then, you know, between the last season and this season, you know, we've had a breakout with the likes of Chan and Slambo and co with the Giga Racer breakout. They're just sort of going their own way with their race program and getting some really, really good signings along the way. You know, they've obviously got Baker on board and various other drivers, and that's a huge stable. You know, we used to talk about in recent times the 777 outfit, which is well represented here, I might add too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, but man, these teams, when they start getting some momentum and data collection with drivers practicing during the week, it certainly shows that Wally's turned up here very, very organised inside that team. So that's cool.
As the field roll away on the formation lap here, J-Man, in readiness.
Yeah, look, good field. 25, well, 24 out there. Rusty's sitting in the pit lane, so Rusty's probably, to be honest, he's probably roving around trying to catch up with Hugh Skiddington and get some tasty morsels and a little bit of light entertainment, I'm sure, but he may call in. We never know. But Webley doing the business once again for that pole. He does look racy. I'll be interested to see Vic Chan mentioning earlier, viewers, that a bit late home from work and a bit unpracticed. So be interesting to see what he can make of it. He's no stranger to the track. It'll be just more about, has he got that Porsche dialed in for tonight. 2 40-minute races, both with mandatory CPSs, tyre change only. Davo, viewers.
Yes.
Mistakes are often made in the pit lane exchange, so we'll keep you up to date with that, with what that looks like, time on the jacks versus total time, and potential battles that might form with an overcut undercut. So we'll try and keep our eye on that. We've got the data at hand as they form their way through, heading towards Sector 3 now.
And look, like you mentioned there just before qualify finished up there, J-Man, good spread of cars, like in the top 9 cars, although there's a couple of Ferraris in there. Everything's represented. We've got the Ford on the top, the Porsche, Geordie Moss in the Mercedes, Arrowsmith in a BMW, Nippers in a Nissan, Thackeray in a McLaren, couple of Ferraris in there with Nash and Wadsworth, but and Aston just rounding that out in number 9 with Damien Jones and Wally Baker in the top 10 as they get down the back of the circuit here a little bit.
Yeah, starting to dual file up as they approach the final 2 corners, Dave. It's your first time viewing here, viewers. Welcome aboard. Get ready for this one. Davo will call the start here shortly, but we are about to embark on a 40-minute race here. Like I mentioned, mandatory pit stop for tyres here. And, yeah, may the best man win.
Oh, look, yeah, round 1. Here we are, ZANDV0ORT. First official points round for 2025 here in Asrnz's GT3 Series J, man. Packed field, hot pace. This is going to be awesome. Thanks again from Race Command for helping to put this all together, and obviously ourselves, MatchFit Entertainment. We have a green light and a great start from the top 3. 4 rows, actually. Very even. A little bit of a late break from the Porsche and the Skyline. There. Oh, the boys up the front, pushing hard. It's a little bit orderly in the background between Stu and Jordan Moss, both out of the 777 stable. Nippers doing a great job to keep Thackeray out there. J-Man, good clean start so far.
Very clean. This is good. Some good action between, I think it looks very much like Carson, Robinson, Collins, Shields and Co. They were all arguing for a bit of real estate as they're coming through that fast. Turns 4, 5. They've sorted it out now, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still on. Just picking up on. That is Carso's car. Who is that? That's changed position. Is that Brad Robinson?
Yeah, it was Brad. Yep.
In the other Aston there. Yeah. So those 2 boys going at it. Not a lot of changing of positions, a little bit of a shuffle there earlier in the lap, but a very orderly start, James.
Yeah, Van der Ven to Collins just arguing at the moment
about
who wants to go first.
They're still at it, J-Man.
Yeah, and look, Van der Ven to...
barges that big Bentley. I mean, Collins just going, look, I'll get to you later. As they run across the start-finish line and back into T1, first lap down and dusted, and a good tidy lap, James.
Yeah. Look, it was a great standing lap from Brandon Webley at a 38.1 to be the best, as you'd expect, having that clear air, and then Vic Chan did a good job just to negate that hard charge that he set up for that first lap, and he's looking to go with him. Stu Arrowsmith looking comfortable, sitting there in third, and equally impressive as Jordan Moss and Nippers at the moment. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Thackeray, but I tell you what, Thackeray did look super aggressive at the start procedure, he was putting a lot of pressure up behind Moss and Nippers as well. So very, very good start to the race so far. Carson Robinson, that's still going on, Davo. That is super tight. Carson, having a look down the inside. That's an inviting corner. The double rights down the bottom of the hill.
Oh, isn't it what? And this little flip-flop back into this left-hander. Quite often we see the boys just trying to sneak it up the inside there into the left. Doesn't always work, but it's worth a shot sometimes. Very close between Nippers and Moss. Also a little bit further up the field there, James. And also Nash and Thackeray.
Yeah, it's busy. That's busy. So that's Nash. That's Nash, Wadsworth, and Jones just trying to come forward there, and they've got actually. They got Mitchie. Sorry, they got Wally Baker in there as well. Who qualified P9, so or 10. Sorry. So not much change there, but that's a good little train. There's actually multiple trains here. You look back to the next pack, which is Haas, Shields, Robertson, Carson. That's a battle as well, as we just saw one of them. I think that was Nev Shields just getting a little bit too one, and they've get a little bit of contact coming out of one. Had a little bit of an overlap. I think they're below both team cars there. Nelson Marine with Brad Robinson as well. I think, sorry, it might have been. It was one of them, and they both ended up in the fence, Davo.
Yeah, just picking that up on the replay. It might have been Carson.
I think it was Carson Fitness. Yes.
Yes, and I think bloody Robinson snuck through all that, J-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Nev
just
Shields.
Unfortunate.
Yep. So the elbows are out. It was a good, clean start.
Yeah, Nipper is starting to put some pressure on Moss now. I've just been watching this for about the last half to 3/4 of a lap, and the lights are ablaze on the Nissan, so he's showing intent that he's not happy to be in fifth. He wants to go forward, and the gap's starting to grow from Stewie Aerosmith back to Jordan Moss. So maybe Matt's just sensing that it's time to go early. Obviously, a 40-minute race with a compulsory pit stop. It's not fuel sensitive. It's not tyre sensitive, other than the fact that they do have to change it. It's a formality, so it'll be all about when you go.
Yep, David, so we've got people, Damien Jones just sneaking into the pits there. So, yeah, he's going to mention that between Nippers and Thackeray, there's actually quite a healthy gap. So, two, obvious battle packs there. And that was Damien Jones just peeling out of that pack. Maybe a good choice, J-Man. Just he maybe thought he was getting held up there a little. Yeah,
so, and that's what I was sort of alluding to is, it's not sensitive to fuel. It's not a logistical, hey, look, I've got to carve off these amount of laps to make the race. It's probably more about how you make your strategy work, whether you run long or whether you run short. Damien Jones, I think he was currently sitting P9. It was a bit of a freight train. It was a busy pack, and he's opted to get out of it. Very, very efficient stop at a 33-second stationary. I think the best you'll see a tyre change is 32. Maybe we've seen a 31 once before, but 33 seconds. And more to the point, the 227 cars come out and just an absolute ton of fresh air. There's nobody with him up till basically halfway through Sector 2. So he's just got acreage in front of him of fresh air. So he'd be able to go out and do the business.
Yep.
So good call, I think, from Damien Jones, and I think we'll potentially, barring any unforced errors out there on his own, we'll certainly have a story to tell about the Red Bull 227 Jarkus Jones car later in the broadcast, I'm sure. Now, getting back to...
We just watched Nippers actually sneaked out the inside of Moss there, the into turn one there, J-Man. I noticed Mitch Huss has just gone backwards as well. We'll try and pick up on a replay of that, but Nippers with a good move on Mossy there.
Yeah, and that's a good point to do it, and he certainly sent it down there early, and Moss actually opened the steering up.
Yeah, saw him coming, J-Man.
Wadsworth Baker as well, obviously with...
Just picking up on this replay, J-Man. House 3 wide into 1 here, the boys. So I think the Delta just came up, thought he got overtaken by 2. It sort of flashed up at it. There it is. Just holding his own there. 3 wide down, the start finish straight, and into
brave.
1. He was in the middle, so he just thought, I'll just leave you guys to this and just get backs out of it nicely.
There was nothing in it between Robinson and who was that? And Wadsworth was sorry. Who was that? Thackeray, sorry. There was
here we
nothing
go.
in it at closing speed.
Yep. Who was that? That's Baker, just fine in the sand as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah, just losing his brake marker there as he was tucked up in behind Wadsworth there. That's allowed Robinson through there, J-Man.
So just give you an update. Top end of town, Webley over Chance 2.3 seconds, 3.3 back to Stu Arrowsmith. Now Nippera still on the move after making that move on Moss. Moss going with him though. He's still got that under a second, round about the 3/4 of a second mark that he's hovering off the back of the Nissan. And then a bit of a gap, about 4.6 seconds back to Tim Nash in 6th, who's got Wadsworth in tow. And then another couple and a half seconds back to that battle that we've been watching with Robinson, Baker, Thackeray, Haas, which I think is going to go the full distance. We're only 9 minutes into the race, so
it's such early days, isn't it?
There's plenty going on. Ben Collins to the pit lane also, so Ben looking to come and get that compulsory stop done early, and gets in and out with a 35 on the jacks, so a little bit snaggy on the jacks, maybe not quite square in the box early in the season. A little bit of rust there for some of these drivers. I expect to see a few maybe pit mistakes tonight. However, he gets in and out without any penalties, so job's done. And Jarka certainly well up the road there, so he made his stop count.
So freight trainer cars there, J-Man. I think that is from Robinson back. We got Robinson, Baker. Actually, does it go further forward? That no, it isn't. It's Robinson, Baker, Thackeray, Haas.
Oh, it's the next one back from that's got me all thinged. Did we just see
the Shields Perkins going on?
Nah, Haas with a big dive down the inside of Thackeray, and I tell you what, it's brave. These guys have already been at it once. A little bit of contact, but holding the nerve. So that Thackeray Haas battle is on. It's the second lap in a row that they've contested that down to turn 1.
Yep.
And Vanderventer just sitting there in 12 watching brief.
But look, the 3 guys behind him as well. They're coming. They're coming.
They are coming.
They're running hot as well. That's Perkins, Carson, and I think it's Turner.
Yeah, it is Phil Turner, and he's got a mirror of Steve Melling and Kenny Simpson. So the Mustang's ganging up there on the Ferrari, and look at the attitude of the Valvoline car of Steve Melling, the BC Racing Valvoline car. I think they were formerly Fossil Fuels, but yeah, certainly he's all over the back of Phil Turner right now.
Yeah, like you said, that's Kenny Simpson just tucked in behind there as well. So a couple of angry Mustangs there, J-Man.
Yeah. So best lap of the race so far, Brandon Webley on a 34.6 is a very, very impressive lap. Last lap round 35.1. So lap pace is good. Up the top, we've just seen Jordan Moss decide to take his pit stop, and while I did that, I saw somebody come incredibly wide out of the final turn, Dave. I don't know if you can pick up on that.
It's Carso. It's Carso and Perkins, I think.
Right.
Or Carso and no, it's Carson Perkins battle, and that he come flying out. They went side by side down the start finish straight, and no positional change. So these guys have been going at it for a couple of laps as well. Great to watch.
Yep, so a bit of pit action now. We have got Aaron Enright in there also. Just watching Jordan Moss. Like I said, he'd be looking for somewhere around that 32-second mark, stationary on the jack to be very, very accurate. And he does that indeed. So I'd like to know what that does in respect of where's Damien Jones. Damien Jones coming around the final corner. You've got to remember Jordan Moss was coming out of around P5. Damien Jones currently sitting P24 being pit stopped. And I'm just looking at the proximity gap that he's made on Jordan Moss. And I really feel like that is a net gain for Damien Jones. I think DJ absolutely has called the right strat here to come in early and have all this fresh air. Obviously, it's going to start getting a little congested the more people stop. But right now he's doing the right thing. So yeah, Moss with a very good stop. Same with Aaron Enright, 32 seconds on the jack. So Aaron Enright,
good solid laps too, and that's what Jones needs to do, isn't it, J-Man?
Oh, it is. Speed trap 259 has been clocked by Nipris in the GDR, Melling in the Mustang, and Simpson in the Mustang. No surprises there.
We just see Carson past Vandeventer. Vandeventer's going backwards, J-Man.
Look, he's been in that. Yeah, he was sitting 12th watching Shields Haas Thackeray, so he's only lost probably position. But and look, he's hungry to get it back. He showed the nose there. To Carso just as they came up into turn 4, so he wants it back. So I don't know whether he lost it due to a little bit of a mistake, but Baker Robinson as well, Davo.
As we're just still following Vandeventer's car there, it just runs wide.
Yep.
Through the big sweeper.
Yeah, and he needs to just keep eyes forward because that battle of Turner, Melling, Simpson is raging on and behind.
And that'll come up on him real quick if he doesn't find his rhythm, as we just see him get the Bentley very sideways once again. He's got to let that tyre cool down. Maybe it's time for a quick pit stop for Mr. Vandeventer to
but it could be.
Regain his composure. Yep.
Webley out to 3.5 to 3.8 seconds over Chan at the moment, 5.8. Back to Aerosmith. Aerosmith starting to get a little bit of heat as we just see a positional change between Baker and Robinson. So that's not over. That could be them. And then also in the background, Thackeray Haas looking at having a big go as well. So which they've been doing every lap into turn 1. Oh, and who is that? So that's Lee Perkins gets out of the battle.
Perkins in the pits.
Yep. So he had just got past Vandeventer and was trying to with I think it was Carson at
with
the time.
Carson.
Yep. So he's got out of that. Just trying to have a look. No one else. No movement. So the front boys all happy to just run a little bit longer at the moment. Obviously we aren't even halfway yet, Davo.
No, get close though, but we're in that window where we would expect to see. And look, these guys, there's defined
32
battles in the field here, and we would expect some of these guys to cover each other off. So if we see 1 or 2 come in, you'll see another 1 or 2 come in at least. And so that's why you get these flurries of pit stoppers. These boys cover each other off and get back into it. J-Man.
Thackeray Haas with another
so Thackeray with a mistake there, I think. We'll just get a replay. Yeah, just running deep into the little right left there, the back sector of the track. It's allowed Haas pass. Easy give me.
Yeah, they'll always be taken if they're on offer. Carson Shields starting to heat up as well. I believe it is. Yeah, it is. And they're not that far behind Eddie by the look of that on track. They're actually only about 1.5 to 1.7 seconds. So that could change very, very quickly now. Melling's still working over the back of Phil Turner. You could argue, is it time to go to the pits, or is he absolutely enjoying what is the battle out on track? And knowing Steve as well as we do, he will be absolutely just reveling in the battle that he's having.
Yeah.
And rightfully so will be Phil Turner. So Phil Turner, multi-time AM champ, and obviously Stephen Melling recently did the business again with the Pro-Am title, so...
Yeah, so no stranger to the winning these guys in their own class, if nothing less. And like you said, you know, Stephen just relishes these battles. You know, he'll be just thinking, "Oh
yeah.
shit, I've got to do a pit stop." He'll run that car for as long as it'll go. You know, like, and then so yeah, he'll be grinning from ear to ear.
So that was just Mossy just rounding up Uncle Joe. Now Mossy
Webley
is
in the pits.
Okay, so this is big. This is big. So Webley was looking for that close to the halfway mark. Not sure what inspired him to do that with that much fresh air. Maybe he's just splitting the tyre strap down.
Yeah, well, he's pretty close to, what are we at? Just under 22 minutes to go. Melling in the pits. There you go. Didn't see that one coming. So he's had enough. Maybe he thought he was getting held up there too a little bit, J-Man, as he ranged up on the back.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting too. One thing we haven't talked about a lot already, we're obviously just being pretty focused on the racing. 3 sets of tyres, viewers. And Dave, obviously you're aware of it, all the things in behind the scenes, but 3 sets of tyres. So just think about that when we see guys like Brandon Webley coming in and taking that pit stop with around 22 minutes to go. What does that look like? Obviously, there's 2 qualifying sessions and effectively 2 race sessions, but 4 stints, because let's break these races down into 2 parts. With a mandatory tyre change, definitely a tyre's getting reused, right? Because 3 doesn't go into 6 sessions without dipping into the bank again of what was already used. So we might have a little bit of a chat with the drivers later on post races and talk to them in the hot box and just see what that looks like strategy wise, so we can get a better understanding and you, the viewers, can get a better understanding about maybe the approach. They are an enduro tire. However, when these guys looking for every last little tenth, it's going to count. So do we see guys spend most of the tire on race 1? Or is there guys that are going to save it for race 2? That'll be the question. And we did see Steve Belling in the lane, also Sam Carson in the lane, Kenny Simpson. So lots of action going on the pit lane. I'll give you an update, Davo, on what we've seen.
Just quickly, and we have talked about it and theorised about Damian Jones' early pit stop in the race. And if you just have a quick look, he has got him... Uncle Joe in the skyline between him and Webley, so he's come out just in behind Webley, which is a massive
Webley had a blue, so Webley 45 second stop sees Jordan Moss provisionally take the lead of this race. So Jordan Moss with a 32 second stop plays Brandon Webley's 45, sees Moss go to the lead of the race. However, the guy you want to think about is out there leading the race right now, and he hasn't stopped, and it's Vic Chan. Now, that'll be the guy, barring any catastrophe on a pit lane stop, that will bounce to the top. And then Stewie Arrowsmith liable to put himself somewhere in the mix with Webley and Moss as well. So watch that space. Watch that space with Moss and Webley, because Webley's clearly got it wrong in the pit lane. He'll have pace out on track, but as you mentioned, great strategy from Damian Jones to go early.
Definitely. Who else do we see? I think Tim Nash actually just rolling into the pit lane there as well. J-Man, Nippers, still like only a few car lengths, a handful of car lengths off the back of Arrowsmith. That has not changed all race. Vic Chan not that far up the road.
Yeah, Shackelford, Haas, Nash in the lane. Same with Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe having a snaggy stop as well, 45 second. Simpson's stop not super efficient at 37 seconds. Carson 35, Collins 35. As I mentioned, Webley with the shocker at 45. Now, what have we seen there? I just seen a little bit of a shuffle on the leaderboard. Something just happened there. Okay, so that's the boys rolling through on Haas, Nash and Shackelford. So that you'll see the likes of Moss, Webley and co all rolling through. Now, Damian Jones, what does he stand to make here? He's coming down the pit straight. How far up this field does he get? He was around about P9 remembering at the start of this race when he decided to opt out of that freight train and have a go. So, potential for Jones once it all shakes out. He could be sort of anywhere for up to maybe 6th or 7th here. He could gain a good couple of spots from that strategy.
I would expect so. I think at least 2, J-Man, possibly more.
Chan, Aerosmith in the lane. Okay, so give you an idea on just our previous stoppers. So we had Haas 35, Perkins 35, Nash was a 32, 33 for Damien Jones, as we mentioned. That was an early stop for him.
And Robinson in the lane as well, James. So
Yeah,
big shuffle. And as the clock ticks down, and very quickly we're nearly 16 minutes to go now. So
Chan with a 31-second stop. I said we've seen it maybe once before. That's probably there's very few times that we've ever got to see it. And he gets out clear as day. Stewie with the 32, so that's efficient. So where is Moss? Moss and Webley into turn 1. So that's Stu Aerosmith cleared Moss and Webley.
Yep.
They're battling.
Yep.
So that's net gain. Vic Chan, he did nothing wrong. He did a good pit stop. Gets out there in first.
Yeah.
Provisionally, mate, once we think. But don't counter out now. There's another guy to factor in on all of this, and it's Matt Nippris. Matt Nippris was starting to put a lot of heat on Stu Aerosmith, and he's been lapping good lap times.
Yeah, so Aerosmith was clear of Moss before Moss pitted, so was Nippris. So
that's
so
changed.
He's the one. He's dropped back, and like you were saying earlier, it's clear. It's so obvious now that mistake in the pits has really cost Webley.
Yeah, Nippris in the lane too, so if he can get somewhere around that 30, 32 seconds, he's going to just throw his hat in the party.
Well, you watch this. He's going to come out smack bang.
It'll be with Aerosmith and Moss.
Yeah.
So Moss doing a great job defending Webley here, mate.
Yeah, no mean feat. Webley leading the race up until pretty well the pit stop.
33-second stop for Nippris, so I reckon he's going to come out behind Aerosmith. Where is Aerosmith? Yeah, he's coming down the pit straight now. You can see, look at Webley having a big look down the inside. I reckon he's going to do this on Moss.
So Aerosmith just sneaks past. Oh, Moss wide as we look over the rear wing of the Nissan from Nippris. It's Mossy. He's not going to get that back.
Side. Webley.
Oh, Webley gathers it.
Got to go the long way around. It's hard to hold it up there. There's no camber on the outside line.
This guy's giving 110%. J-Man, it is on.
Oh, and he's just cleared the nose, coming down through 5, 6 here. So he'll sit forward, but good job here from Nippris. And he'll be looking up the road to Stewie. He was watching the back bumper of that car before they went in for the pit stops. But Vic Chan just went out there and did the business as far as the pit stop and the numbers. He was around about 3.5 seconds behind Webley before Webley had that stop, which was effectively, what does that make? That there was a good, what's that? It's over 10 seconds difference. So maybe something like 14. Shields in the lane too now, Davo.
So one of the final pit stops. We've got another handful of guys yet to stop here, J-Man.
Yeah, Wadsworth, Baker, Thackeray, Van der Venter, and Turner will be the one. And that Turner one will be interesting for me because Steve Melling had a very efficient stop, 32-second stop, and he's got fresh air a little bit up the road to him. So I think he's got Rusty Shackelford. Oh, and I just commentator cursed him. He's had a flick spin. Unfortunately, got it round the wrong way on the curbs. Flick spins the car around. So sorry about that, Steve-O. That's not the way I wanted it to go down when I decided to have a bit of a chat about you, because that's going to negate any gains you made in the pits against Phil Turner. it's unfortunate.
Oh, tough gig there for Steve as he regathers.
Well, Shields Haas, Carson is on, and I feel like this is almost deja vu. Because we just picked up on the replay there of Steve Melling just getting it all sorts of wrong.
Yeah, these guys going at it.
Woo.
Neville Shields in the sandwich there. The three Asrnz. Look at them.
It's on.
Very equally paced cars. Carson, Shields, and Haas. Slightest mistake. We just see Shields. He run a little bit deep there. Gives Haas a sniff, but on the outside.
Yeah. So for me at the moment, provisionally, I think when the pit stops shake out, I think that does see Damien Jones go from 9th to 7th. Once it all shakes out in the wash, once Wadsworth, Baker, Thackeray, Van der Venter, and Turner stop. Now, yeah, that's not counting out the likes of Baker and Wadsworth, though. Yeah, well, look, you keep beating that drum there, Mr. Shane Fotterdo. I'm not gonna weigh in on that that conversation about should Stu be a pro yet. I'll leave that up to you boys out there on track. But geez, he looks good, doesn't he? Okay, so Shields Haas, just a little bit of a positional change there, just in the past few corners as well, Davo. So that's not uncommon from what we've seen already. Those guys quite happy to exchange.
Yeah, and the camera boy's picking up on that nicely, actually. That was inevitable with Haas just applying the blowtorch long enough.
Now, Webley currently sitting just outside what would be a podium position. Viewers, jump in on the chat. Give us your thoughts. Give us a yes or no whether can Webley make it back on the podium. Has he got enough for Nips and Stu Aerosmith? Because they're all pretty tight. You just see them going quite straight. Stu's got a little bit of an air gap, but certainly Webley and Matty Nipris pretty close on track as we see Baker in the lane to take his official stop. So he's one of the, I guess, the final 6 that had to go. And he gets it done with a 33. So good stop. I'm very impressed with the boys' second race for the season up, but first official race that they're getting these pit stops well and truly sorted. I think at the exception of Webley's 45-second, everything's been pretty damn tidy, really.
Oh, absolutely. As we see Carson pull away from that battle between Shields and Haas. Haas and Shields coming together there a little bit earlier. We just picked it up on the replay, and another change of positions. No surprise. But what is the surprise is they've got Collins coming up in the Lamborghini quickly, and they're going to have and maybe even bloody Shackelford in behind.
I tell you what, Rusty's been the quarter achiever here in the Jesus is King car. So the Holy Roller is out there doing the business. He started from pit lane when we went lights out and the field got away. I flicked back to pit lane, back to P25, which was Rusty Shackelford, just quietly minding his own. Like I said, probably been hanging out with Hugh Skiddington, a few edibles, and he's just rolled out there in the Holy Roller and doing the business. Is currently P19, and I don't think that's the end of it because we've still got the likes of Turner, Van der Venter, Thackeray, Wadsworth to stop. I think maybe the last 2 might be a little out of reach, but I'm just trying to have a look, and I really feel like the Turner, Van der Venter cars are well within his grasp. You can see him bolster up maybe up into sort of P17, 16 territory.
And it has to be noted as well, my friend, that Rusty running a VR setup for the first time ever tonight.
Yeah. So how good? I think it'd be nice if Rusty's around at the end, irrespective of his finishing position, to have a quick chat with Rusty and just get his take on that. You know, first time out the hot seat on VR. Be interesting just to get his read on that. And Shields Haas exchanging again.
They
Still
been,
side by side.
still,
And look at this. Still going on. Rusty's in there as well. So is Collins. They can't make up their mind.
side by side. They have been since T1, like all the way down the straight into T1. There they go. They sorted out before they get into
my
the
poor
bowl.
data can't work it out. It doesn't know
It's
who
going
wants
up and
to be
down,
in
up
front.
and down, up and down.
As mentioned, yeah, Shea Fotodo, Nippers is on the back. He's got through. Nippers.
So Turner in the pits, J-Man.
Nippers is through.
Okay. He was in front of Webley. He was in front of Webley. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
He was in front of Webley, who was with Moss.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. I was meant to be
came-
looking at Webley.
Yeah.
I was just looking up the road at Stewie Aerosmith, but he's doing the business. Phil Turner in the lane. Now, this is one that I think is going to play back into the battle and actually drop behind Shackelford and end up in a battle with Kenny Simpson and Steve Belling.
So we only got a long to go for these boys, mate. Only 6.5 minutes to go.
Yep.
I suspect Aerosmith would be closely watching his mirrors with the likes of Nepris and Webley behind him. Headlights ablaze on the Nissan. He's still got some work to do over the next 6 minutes, J-Man.
Yep. 32 seconds on the jacks for Turner. Now, where is... Okay, so Melling's into turn 1. So that battle ensue for the final 6 minutes, I'm sure. And we have only got 3 people left to stop, and that'll be Wadsworth, Thackeray, and Van der Venter as well. So I think that looks good for what is the first VR showing for Rusty Shackelford, currently sitting P18 with the potential go to finish in the top 15 in a 25-car field. So to make 10 positions out there on track, and it was all out on track based on the fact that he started from pit lane.
Oh, yeah.
There's a very, very good showing. So
I
see Nippers starting to really put the pressure on Aerosmith.
He is. Collins running a little bit wide there, so we could keep...
And wind this thing up so we can make it at least to intermission before it decides to play silly games.
Up.
But hey, look, nonetheless, this battle for the podium, and it's not just for third. It's literally, this battle is going to be for second or third.
That's right.
Based on what we're seeing. Now Webley's all over Nippers. Nippers all over Aerosmith.
Yeah,
it's all starting to get
pretty
pressurised there. Yeah, and good to see the Nash fan club turn up fashionably late, but nonetheless, a good time to turn up.
But still on board.
Good time to turn up, because Nash, by the time Van der Venter, Thackeray, Wadsworth has taken their pit stops, you got to see Nash somewhere up around P6, I believe. So it's a very, very good showing from Tim Nash, as we've come to expect. Now, this battle, I can't take my eyes off it at the moment. Davo, Stewie, Aerosmith, Matty Nippris, and Brandon Webley are going at it. A lot of respect there. Just want to get a read on their lap times, Davo. So they are lapping Webley. Last lap round was the fastest at a 35.2, 35.3 for Nippers, 35.5 for Stewie Aerosmith. So not a lot, maybe 2.5, 3 tenths. The difference between Stewie and Webley's best lap there on the last lap. So that is tight. No mistakes.
No mistake
required.
A couple of guys still yet to do pit stops, J-Man. Wadsworth, Thackeray, and Van der Venter.
Yeah, so expect to see those start happening now, because we've only got just under 3 minutes as we see the first of them come in. Wadsworth in the lane. Expect Edward Thackeray to come in there. That beautifully presented McLaren as he peels off into the lane, laid on the brakes, fires it in there. Does a good job of arresting the speed. It's such a quick entry into this pit lane. Wouldn't be hard to get a speeding penalty.
Oh, it's getting hot.
And Van der Venter comes in.
Nippers getting impatient there under the rear wing of Aerosmith's BMW. Like I mentioned earlier, Aerosmith with a lot to do. Webley, now he's having to defend a Webley. Look at it.
Yeah, this will be good for Stewie if he can hold his nerve here. Oh, and I'll tell you what, Webley is down there. He is down there. He's on the optimum
he's
line.
got it
Stewie
done.
was a little bit wide as well. So Stewie broke very, very deep in case Webley didn't get the brake mark quite correct there. So it's all on. It is all on with what will be only 2 laps to go. And look at Webley. I'll tell you what, no matter where these guys finish, they would have earned it. Worst case scenario, I think we're looking at, you know, these guys are in the top 4, but that coveted podium position and a chance to come down and eat the peanuts, the edibles, and have a chat with us. I don't think you want to eat the peanuts, but
Nippers looking.
I tell you what, he's got a good line. He's putting some pressure on Webley here. Stewie's going to be like, more of that, guys, more of that. Yeah. Just look at what that did. 2 corners, and look what it did. It gave 3/4 of a second to Stewie.
Oh yeah, easily, and he needs every tenth of that. 3/4 of a second. Oh, Nippers.
It should come right. There was just a little buffer on the internet. Hopefully, the audio's cleaned up now, mate. That's just the minions that pedal the bikes to keep the power on. We're getting fatigued, and we've just given them a whipping.
Yes, we've got to do that every now and then.
Yeah, Vic Chan started the final lap, some 9.3, 9.4 seconds ahead of Stewie Aerosmith, and then 3/4 of a second back to Webley. But you better bet this last lap's going to be big. Stewie doesn't miss the apex into turn 1 this time around. Neither does Webley, neither does Nippers. So it's on. Be looking for absolutely. Oh, and Webley gets it wrong. Nippers tries to get underneath him, gives him a little tag. It's going to get really spicy as they come out of 4-5.
Webley on the grass, trying to get that thing wound back up again.
Nippers gets it down the inside there. Stewie will be rubbing his hands together. It is absolutely on. Damien Jones and Brad Robertson in the background. I'll just give you the heads up. I'll give you some information for free there. That is on for the top 10 or top 9.
Well, the cameras literally just flicked to it for a second as we saw Webley make that mistake. So they flashed quickly back.
Yep. And Malling all over the back of Phil Turner. We saw that battle ensuing earlier on. There's so many stories to tell, but on the last lap, we do got to give some homage to the Webley-Nippers battle, because this is a podium position here, and no disrespect to all the other close battles out there, but it is the final lap. Go well, Steve-O, Phil Turner. I'm sure you guys have got a great last lap. We'll try and catch up, but right now, Webley, half a second. We're coming around the final corner. Vic Chan crosses the line in first, does a beautiful job. Stewie Aerosmith, take a bow, backs his performance up from last week, comes home in P2, and then Matty Nippers holds off Brandon Webley there. So, Webley fires it in the wall, bonnets up on the Mustang. It's a hell of a scene.
Didn't they tell him he's got to use that car for the next race?
Wow, yeah, well, he won't be using those tyres, I can assure you that. But Jordan Moss are a top 5. Timmy Nash. Go to the Timmy Nash fan club. Timmy Nash gets a P6. And Wally Baker in that newly aligned Giga Racer McLaren does a fantastic job for P7 over Wadsworth 8. Damien Jones holds out Brad Robinson for 9th. Brad Robinson 10th. Perkins, Thackeray, Carson, Haas, Shields to the top 15. And then what a drive, Rusty Shackelford from the pit lane, P16. 17 Collins, Simpson.
So he got past Collins there too.
Yeah, he did. Van der Venter, Turner holds off Malling for P2021. Enright, Davidson, Uncle Joe, and newcomer Ryan Smith rounds out the field in 25. What a fantastic round 1, race 1. Man, spicy. Shane Fodderday, how do you like that? I bet you wish you're out there on track, mate. No doubt it'll be more of the same next week when you're back. But hey, look, we need to take a quick option to. Are we hotboxing in between, Davo, or what's the story?
Yeah, let's do it. Make it quick.
Right. Okay. So we shall quickly grab Matt Nippers. Where is he?
Get him on. Get him on
Matt Nippers, you got us on comms, mate. You got your mic on. Can you hear us, Matt?
Buddy. Hey,
Hey,
how you
Matt,
going?
mate, what a fantastic race, mate. We've got you down here live in the hot box here. Just watch that fantastic performance and a great battle at the end. Yourself, Stewie Aerosmith and Brandon Webley, mate. You'd have to be happy with that podium.
Yeah, really thrilled with that. It was a very tough battle. I think strategically I made a bit of an error going for the dive bomb on Webley in the the second last lap. I should have let him go and just hope he would have found a hole with Aerosmith. But I think a bit of I don't know, ego got the better of me, I suppose.
Very honest
Well,
of you.
mate, I'll tell you what, it was nothing short of just
Spectacle.
absolutely entertaining.
Special.
And go the Datsun. We love the Datsun up here. So, look, mate, cheers for taking the time. We're not going to hold you up for too much here, but round one on the podium straight away. How's the tyre strategy looking, Matt?
Looking pretty good at the moment. So I think I might just go out with the set of tyres I just used in the first stint and keep a brand new set for the second race.
Good one, mate.
Sounds like a
Well,
good plan.
Go well, Matt. Appreciate the time you've taken to talk to us, mate. We'll be watching, but thoroughly entertained. Good on you, mate.
Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers. Okay. Next cab off the rank will be Stewie Aerosmith. Was there ever any doubt? Stewie, you got your mic on.
Oh, you g'day. How you going?
Mate. Well, sorry, would we just pull you away from some other media there? A few autographs to sign, and just all the stuff you got to contend with now that you're up there with the big lads. How was that, mate?
It was good. Sorry, I've got teammates in my ear. We're having a bit of a debrief after that. That was great fun. Congrats to Vic. That was pretty wild with Niparis and Webley near the end. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, man, you held your nerve really, really well. And then how was the mirrors on the final lap watching Nips and Webley going to battle, mate? I bet you that was a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, I was flashing the lights, celebrating because I knew that they got together and there wasn't much time left.
Good work. All right, we'll let you debrief with your teamies, mate. But well done
Well
on
done.
a P2 in race one, round one, mate. And go well on the next one, Stewie.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. All right, and last but not least, a guy that I think I saw a comment earlier in the night that said that this guy was unpracticed, late home from work, not expecting too much. But Vic Chan, stand up. How was that?
Boys, that was unexpected. I was actually waiting to see where Webley was gonna be in front of me.
Oh, right. Yeah, so obviously 45-second pit stop's not going to help him, mate. But nonetheless, you went out there and you did everything right in respect of lap times. A 31-second stop, Vic. I just said that we never see 31-second stops. It's 32 was always optimum, but you pulled a 31. And then with obviously with Webley having a 45, and there was no looking back from there, mate. It was I could imagine that was probably the most relaxing last 5 laps you've ever had.
Yep, for sure.
No, well done, mate. Coming to terms with that Porker pretty quickly. That Porsche does look good at the hands of Vic Chan. So look, mate, we won't hold you up for too long because it's not going to be too long before you're qualifying again. How's the tyre situation looking anyway before you go?
Oh, I'm just looking at him now. I might have messed it up, but I should be able to make it work.
Righto, mate. Best of luck.
Good luck, Vic.
Mate. All going well. We'll talk to you in about 50 minutes.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Okay, Vic.
Nice work. Vic Chan, everyone, wins race 1, round 1 here at ZANDV0ORT in the Asrnz 2025 GT3 series. J-Man, great start to the season there. Some cracking racing. Good, clean start, actually, with a fairly good field of cars there. We'll thank MatchFit Entertainment, obviously, and Race Command, as always. And thank you guys for joining in. Hit the like and subscribe button. We will go to a short intermission and we'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Again, you've joined us here for the official coverage of Asrnz's 2025 GT3 series. We just watched a cracking first race here tonight at Zandvoort for round one in the series. I'm Davo. J-Man right by my side. What do you reckon, Davo? J-Man, good race?
Mate, that was fantastic. Absolutely a thrilling battle. Once again, I mean, you know, like it's just always, you know, when we start off a new season, it's always, you know, there's some old names and there's always battles that form in that. But that was fantastic. I think welcome aboard, Matty Niparis. We saw him with a strong showing at the shakedown, and that was really cool to see. I think a stunning drive. I think from Vic to just hold his nerve. Stewie Aerosmith really has thrown his head in the ring here to be a contender. He just looks so good in that car. He's driving as good as we've ever seen him. I think Rusty Shackelford, the drive from the back of the grid was impressive. I see he's out there in this current qualifying session as well. But also
yes,
Damien Jones and Wally Baker were very impressive. Timmy Nash with a top six. There's so many stories. I mean, we'll get to...
there is a few, isn't there?
Yeah. And I'm no doubt that our Hugh Skiddington from the R Studio during the week will pick up on a few stories that we may have missed, or maybe some that we've touched on. But there's just, you know, what will be, I think, a season full of some pretty cool stories going out there. And
yep.
Wally Baker, Wally Baker to the top 35.5. That was very, very close to the time that he ran in Q1. So we talked about tyres here. You're saying Stewart's already pro. Just reading Shane's comments. Settled out. He's on holiday, isn't he, Shane?
He's got plenty of time.
He probably can't see the keyboard properly by this time of night now. But yeah, Damien Jones in there straight away as well, 35.7. The times are flicking in. Like I mentioned, I did see...
Oh, it's a great race for Jones. Although I think he dropped away right at the end there. He was in the top 10. And
he only lost one position. He finished P10.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There was a few people last time I looked. There was a few people yet to pit. So yes, very nice work. So
So he was right. It was him and Baker. So Baker, they swapped positions when they went in for the pit stops. DJ was 9th and Baker was 10th, and that swapped around after post pit stops. But I thought that early strat from Jones was a good call, and I think it played him in quite nicely. It obviously stabilised at the back end, maybe ran out a little bit of tyre. He was under a lot of pressure.
Because I don't think it was a planned move. Like we were watching, obviously, all those guys were watching the stream earlier, that he was in a freight train of cars, wasn't he? And it was just like an on-the-run decision made to get out of that train and get in early, and it really did pay off for him. So, yeah, nice work.
No, 100%. And I think also... Steve Melling, the battle that he had with Turner, you know, we talked about Turner was, you know, we'll have to talk to the admin at some point during the week. Was this the season that after back-to-backing that AM title, was he stepping up to Pro-Am? and is that what we're seeing, that, you know, he was battling and came out triumphant over the current Pro-Am champ of Steve Melling? So that's going to be an interesting one going throughout the season, and we're going to see these battles form, and I think they're going to form a lot earlier this year than we saw last year. We got to the back end of last year, and it was quite defined who was a contender. But look, I think there's a fair few names in the hat now. Now DJ brings the car back to pits on a 35.6. Wally Baker's still out there.
Not a clean lap though. Phil Turner just chasing a bit more time as well.
So Collins,
that Ferrari. So Collins on the move.
Yeah,
he's about halfway through his lap there.
What's he looking like? Couple of tenths. It's coming through sector 2.
And we saw him fighting with Shackelford down at the back end of that race.
Now 37.1 plays a 37.6 for Turner versus Melling. Melling's kind of right on the bubble at the start of the lap of managing at the same time. Turner However, is
So-
about to complete a lap, and he's
This'll
6 to nearly 7 tenths. So this is going to be super tight. This
This
is
will
going
give
to
him
be...
a couple of positions.
Yeah, so he goes P8.
So Pip's Melling and Vanderventer there,
Yeah,
and carries
Shackleton,
on.
36.2.
He's only got, what have we got, about 50 seconds to go before these guys will be able to run across the start-finish line for another lap. The pro guys will be out, pro and silver boys will be out soon enough. Shields up on his time, J-Man. Early
he's
part
got-
of the lap, but good chunk
Yeah.
of time for such an early part of the lap. He's only just coming out of 5 there.
Yeah, he's already made nearly half a second
Yeah.
through sector 1.
That's a
And if he
big
can
chunk
carry
of
that
time.
through,
That'd put him on the second row already. Just so he's just got to carry that through, like you said.
yeah, although Tim Nash
Yeah.
started out modest in the lap, but he's building into it. He's building towards 3, 4, 5 tenths. And so that could see Tim Nash go deep into the 5s, and that'll do him wonders to maybe contest with maybe Thackeray and maybe even Damien Jones here if he can carry on with the lap. He's heading towards the final sector now. Got 2 corners to make, and he looks good. Just hovering just under that 4 tenths of a second.
Yeah, looking pretty
He can get-
solid. Slowly building though, J-Man, as he just
7 tenths for
Some
Shields.
Shields.
He's on a mission.
Yeah,
Nash is going to move forward here, mate. This is a very, very good lap, and it's the last one that
yeah.
he's
This
got.
will get him on the front row. This.
Okay.
There you go.
So there
Second.
he goes up to P3.
Back to Shields. Running out of the final corner here, J-Man. 4 tenths up his sleeve. That has to
Yep.
and fro across the lap. Clearly pushing hard. Gains
And he goes P5. It's good. It's a good
Nice
solid
work.
effort. Now,
as we see.
once again, is it Stewie that got out first again? It is, because they are tailing the 713 car. So Steve Melling clearly got across the line, I think, before the time ran out. Oh, he's pulled it off. He's done. Okay, so Stewie Aerosmith, as I mentioned, first car out once again.
Jordan Moss in tow there, J-Man. In the only Mercedes actually entered for the series. So in the sole lonely Mercedes in the background there.
So Kenny Simpson and Uncle Joe, not sure what happened there, whether they didn't bank much of a lap or that they're well down. So I'm not sure what happened there. Missed Q2 or something. Yeah, I see that there, Ricky. Yeah, just close one eye or maybe put one finger up on the screen where the other 6 is and just pretend, but we can see him. He's always somewhere where the action is. Istimus, the Timmy Nash, certainly had a good showing. That first one was a great run.
Definitely.
Okay, so Stewie building into the lap, heading down to this final chicane. Where is, so previous quali out, he did have Vic Chan following him.
Yes.
And he hasn't this time. He's got some cars in between himself and Vic Chan. It's just ahead of Lee Perkins at the moment.
Yeah,
but,
so Mossy tucked in behind. And then I think, like you said, I think it's Perkins.
Yep.
Back from that.
So what do we see here? Do we see a 35 straight away? Yes, we will. 35.5 only just eclipses Wally Baker's time. So once again, Wally with a really, really good qualifying time. Same with Damien Jones and Timmy Nash, Thackeray, Shields, all in the hunt there, all in those 35s. Certainly put themselves in a good position for the start of this race. Okay, we've got some times going to start rolling in. Okay, Niparis in there on a 35.4. Just eclipses Stewie Aerosmith. So the first banker lap sees Nippers go to the top. Not sure why we haven't seen.
So Vic
anything.
obviously didn't get a clean lap, and
Neither did Webley.
yeah, well, Vic's still at the bottom, so it didn't register at all.
Moss.
Webley's only about halfway up through the field.
Yep.
Mossy is low as well there in 17th, so yeah, didn't get a clean lap out of the Mercedes as well. Just maybe just trying to get those tyres up the 10th.
So that bodes well because the timer's clicking down. These guys only had around the 8-minute mark from when they left the pit lane to try and construct what is their Q2. That was hairy, yeah, it was. Yeah, fantastic race one. Really looking forward to what they turn up. For this one, they'll be that much more comfortable with the cars after that, although tyres start to get a little bit thin. Only 3 sets of tyres for the weekend. They're going to make those do 6 sessions.
Nippers makes a gain. Mossy makes a gain.
Webley
to the top.
Yeah.
And then Chan in second. So Aerosmith knocked off the top spot. He was up there that first lap. He did put him up there. So he's had enough. He's just like, oh, that's good.
He banked the number. He banked the number on a 35.3. He's a very, very good number. He's pulled the pin on that. But Stewie Aerosmith with 0.4 of a second made up through sector 1, and he's carrying it through sector 2. And I'll tell you what, 0.4 will put him on the front row with Webley. It won't. He'll need around about 6 or 7 tenths, 6 tenths to get to Webley, but he's got 5 of them, 5.5 of them already. It's looking good for Stu. He looks good. Is he on a better tyre? What's the story here? Because he does look quicker than Q1.
Yeah, well, you called it. First flying lap was quick. Pushing hard. Oh, pushing very hard. He was up at around 6 tenths there. He's bled.
Yeah, a little wiggle.
A couple of tenths off there.
Oh, he was good through the second to last right hand. He's going to carry it. He's going to carry this 4 tenths. He's going to go provisionally front row with Webley. And more importantly, he's got time to go again. So there you go. 34.952 plays a 34.8.
He's packed that up.
And Chan's going to come across the line and just spoil the party and go front row again because he's got a 1/10 and a quarter.
just enough.
So he's going to go 34.875. So the smallest of margins, 7/1000 somewhere. Where is Webley? He's got another 1/10 and a bit as well. Where is he? He's about to...
He's just starting his lap.
Start his lap, yep. Aerosmith's parked it. He's like 34.9, boys. That's all I've done. Not going to stress these tyres anymore. Maybe they are... Yeah, they'll definitely be a set that they're going to use in one of the stints. But how's the Baker? How's the Baker Wadsworth? Damien Jones
times.
Yeah, they're good. Good times. Hanging in there inside the 10. It's impressive stuff.
Chan chasing Webley's time as we see Webley pull that car off track and back to pit.
Who have we gained here, mate? We've gone 26 on the grid, so we've gained someone here. Oh, Mr. Spence. Am I correct? I think it's Tony Spence.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, Vic Chan, what's he got? He needs the smallest margin. And he's coming around. Has he got anything? He's going to be super close. He's going to be on the
very
button.
Close, but I don't think he's got it.
No, it's going to be super close. It's going to be absolutely... He gets it. 34.797.
Really? Wow.
The smallest of margin. He gets the job done to be on the opposing side. They were both on the front row already. Carson
goes from the
13th
to 7th just then. So, nice work on Carson. Right in the final seconds. Gotta love that.
Look at that. We had, Jordan Moss there in the AMG qualifies 10th. qualified a lot further up Q1. So tyres definitely a factor here, I think, for Q2 race 2. We heard Vic Chan saying that he might have got it wrong. His qualifying certainly doesn't.
He got that
make
bit
him look
right,
that way.
didn't he? Nice work. Nice work. Thanks for joining us again here tonight, viewers.
Look, we've got
2025's first round here for 2025 Asrnz's GT3 series. 9 more rounds, or 8 more rounds, should I say, to come.
Yeah.
Plenty to go on yet. Thanks, Race Command. Thanks, MatchFit Entertainment. These guys are going to give away some prizes throughout the series. We'll get more details on that later. Tonight, though, we're giving away a prize for the best painted skin after the post-race interviews, so hang around, peoples.
And what have we got? We just got just under 2 minutes. Just get out one of our MatchFit family down here just quickly. I won't upset him too much, and he may or may not have a push to talk button, Matt. But Rusty Shackelford, have you got comms on tonight?
I do. Can you hear me?
Mate, we can hear you loud and clear. Fantastic race one, driving from P25, started pit lane, and then drove up to what was, I think, P15 or 16, I believe, mate.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I was a little late getting to the track. I missed out on qualifying. I was looking for Steve Rees in the red light district of Amsterdam, and unfortunately I missed my tram, so I had to hop on one of those Dutch bicycles and ride all the way to the track. So the legs are a little sore for race 2, but we'll be right. We'll be right.
So tell me, were you virtual or were you in VR for that bike ride?
VR for the bike ride, of course.
Nice.
But doing the mixed reality thing. So I had zombies jumping out of laneways, and I assume they were zombies. They were poorly dressed, and I could only assume.
So for the viewers out there, obviously, Rusty, you've gone out, you've just embarked on your first competitive race with VR on. A quick thought on that, mate? Are you impressed, or you're happy with where you sit?
Yeah. No, it's different. It's definitely different. It is an experience.
Immersive?
Yeah, definitely enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Looking forward to race 2. There's a lot of quick guys behind me in this class, so got to keep my head together and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, well, look, mate, enjoy it. Hey, thanks for taking a chat with us just quickly on that. But yeah, you heard it there first. This is Rusty's first competitive race out with VR. Only obtained the VR in the last number of days. So go well out there, Rusty. We will be watching, mate. And the Holy Roller does look good out there.
Thanks, guys. Have a good call.
You too, mate. All right, so there you go. Now,
Rusty. So good work, Rusty Shackelford. Race as everybody starting to roll away from the line now, J-Man, for race 2.
Yeah, so we see the grid all roll out as we get ready to undertake this race 2, and good to see good retention of the viewers in there tuning in. Good to see a very important person there just tuning in. G'day, Mr. Firth. This guy's a part of the MatchFit family. Very talented man, and we appreciate everything he does for us. So good to have you watching in on this broadcast.
G'day, Firthy.
Firth. But yeah, no, this one should be good. Little bit of a shake up there. Like I said, Mossy back in 10th. And then Shackelford actually qualifying this one. So starting from P17 as opposed to P25. This one made his way to 15th from 25 last race. What can he make of a P17 starting spot? It's got the likes of Brad Robertson was engaged in an incredible battle right throughout that race with, I think he ended up tucked in behind Damien Jones and co. So we saw how heavily competitive the battle was with the likes of I think it was Perkins, Collins, Shields, Carson. That was another great battle as well. So I'll expect the same, I think, Davo.
I would expect the same as well. I think we see this, we saw this week in and week out. These guys, like of equal pace, the battles we see mid-pack the best ever. Like, these guys are racing for the top spot. So, yeah, watch those guys come together again. Good close top pack, actually, tonight as well, which is not always the case, though, is it? You know, like with the top 3 or 4 so close. So, yeah, that was pretty exciting as well.
And look at this. P1 Giga Racer, P2 Giga Racer, P4 Giga Racer, and then I think we go to, I think Baker's a Giga Racer, so P9. So what's that? We've got 4 Giga Racers inside the 10. It's pretty impressive stuff.
Absolutely. Newly formed team, just over the past few months, over I think the end of last year, J-Man, and yeah, really getting some momentum very, very quickly amongst that team. J-Man, as we see the boys all formed up, ready to go here for race 2. Round 1, race 2 at Zandvoort for the Asrnz 2025 GT3 series, brought to you by MATCHFIT Entertainment and Race Command. These guys are just about to get a green. We've got Vic Tannen, Brandon Webley on the front row once again. Really tidy starts on these guys.
Oh yeah, super
Van
tight.
Webley, look at Spence right in there now. Somebody else for Aerosmith to worry about. Good close stuff. Spence, and then Haas and Nipperus side by side. Oh, that was so close between those two.
Who was that? That was
Haas. Haas and Nipperus.
Yeah, so I was watching Stu Aerosmith just cleared the nose.
We got Jordan Moss,
Tony Spence.
sorry, in the background there, side by side with Damien Jones.
Damien
a
Jones.
little bit of a hip and shoulder there. So Jordy just gives him a hit with the hip of the Mercedes-Benz. He just, mate, I just need a little bit more space there, brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Super clean start once again. I think from what I can gather, everybody's facing the right direction. Everybody's challenging, but nice and clean. Well-renowned, known for driver etiquette here at Asrnz, and they're certainly proving that. You know, look at the close confines of lap 1, and
at a place like Zandvoort at that too, J-Man. Very flowy, some good high average speeds here as we just pick up on Brad Robinson, just giving Fackery the hurry up as well. Getting down towards the
who was
back.
that? That was that
At Moscow.
Damien Jones had a bit of a whoopsie, and then somebody else has had a whoopsie out of the chicane as well. I think that was, who was that? Okay, I believe it was Nev Shields was facing the wrong way out of the chicane, and he's found the sand.
He's just getting hung out to dry.
Yeah, so hard to get back into your rhythm. And oh, Melling going for an early. Oh, Melling in the fence. Melling looks like he's had a hardware failure. That thing was right hand down coming to the lane. Not sure what's going on there.
Early stop. Not good for Mel. Plenty going on in this
Nash
mid-pack.
gone backwards as well.
Nash gone backwards.
Yeah.
Collins and Robinson right in the thick of lap 2.
Shackelford up 2 spots in 1 lap.
And he has got plenty to think about. Look at Robinson on the back of it.
Yep.
Brad agitated. Good steer, Brad.
Up the top. Oh, Vic Chan wide down the bottom of the hill. Davo's going to put a lot of incentive. Oh, and he's wide again. He's got that wrong. You can just see a couple of bites on the steering wheels allowed Webley and Aerosmith through to take the lead of the race. So Chan from first to third in 1 corner. Sorry for the cutaway there, mate. Just picked that up. So
yeah, we're just picking it up on the replay there too, J-Man. Yeah, got out in the marbles there to let both Webley and Aerosmith through. Quick, smart. Very, very hotly contended time here at Zandvoort. This top 3, we're only just talking about how close they were at the end of the race. You can't afford a mistake like that. Jordan Moss on the back of Baker.
Yeah, and then I was also watching Nippers with Haas and Spence as well. So that's just in behind the Vic Chan car. So that's a battle. Those are 3 cars there for me. Tony Spence, Mitchy Haas. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast of what Mitchy Haas, what we've seen him do with the pace that he's got. And I think that may come to fruition a little bit later on. Who is that? Incredibly close. So who we seeing there? Louis van der Venter, and he is recovering. He's just had some sort of issue down there at turn 1, and it just took him a long time to get
in
going.
the sand again. Louis played in the sand again. He called it.
Melling with the 36.59, so that's 36 seconds stationary, 59 outright.
So something going on there, J-Man, like you said.
Yeah, those
for
are
that kind
strange
of
numbers. Yeah.
To be so hard in defence, you would have expected it to be some sort of hardware failure or something for Steve Melling. But we just pick up on the Haas Spence.
Yep.
I think it's Nippers actually in the background there. So it's Tony Spence, Mitch Haas, and
Moscow
Nippers. And good to see Spence, latecomer, missed race 1, but here he is and making an appearance or what. And yes, like you mentioned, is that Thackeray and Nash and DJ?
Yep, all through.
All through on Moss. Not sure what happened there.
No. So just wonder, there may be a story to be told at the end of this one about managing 3 sets of tyres into 6 stints. We do see somebody else in the lane. So that's Nev Shields opted for an early stop as well. So I'm just trying to get a read on that. Oh, Nev Shields has been in there over a minute already. So not sure if he's got a lot of damage on. We saw him have a incident where he was facing the wrong way at the final chicane, Sector 3.
We did.
Maybe looking to repair that car because we are only, we're 6 odd minutes into this race, or 5.5 minutes into the race. So it's a long way to go with a busted crab.
Yes.
Chan Aerosmith's a good battle. However, Webley doing what he did race 1 at the start, just sort of really has that sprint pace at the start where he can just really press down, and he's already done a 1:35.4. Aerosmith's already banked a 35.5, which he actually did last lap, so it was a little bit of a response to the Webley lap. Chan with a 35.6 last lap round, so on very similar pace are the front 3. 2.5 back to Spence, but this is the battle. Spence, Haas, Nippers.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That is on.
Yeah, so look, I think Nippers thought he had, a bit of a job on his hands just in amongst the company that he had in race 1, but we've just thrown in a Tony Spence into the mix.
Well, the pool is deep, David. The pool is very deep.
It is. And so now he's got a little bit more to work for. And look at these 2 cars. Tony Spence, Mitchie Haas, Webley running away a little bit, very sideways in that Mustang. Damn, he drives that thing off the right foot well.
He does. I mean, he's well versed in it. We've seen him around the traps in the last 12 months. He's got it worked out, and no surprise for me to see him turn up in that car and look this comfortable. And, we talked about maybe about 12 months ago or less that when this thing came out, what it would, it was eating the rear tyres up. These guys worked it out. They worked out how to set this car up and make it go fast and make it go long. So Webley's no stranger to this car, so he's doing a brilliant job. Just to see a positional change there, Damien Jones just loses out to Timmy Nash. So Timmy Nash was up there a bit further, dropped back, now looking to make his way back inside the 10. He's currently 1.9 away from Wally Baker, another Giga racer there. So, it'd be good to see Nash get back up there. He'll progress as the race goes on. We saw how strong he finished that last one. But Aerosmith 1.6. Vic Chan, well, why is Vic Chan has gone off? We've got a replay on Vic Chan. He's dropping like a stone, and he's on the infield. He's on the grass. It's gone bad, and he's going to pit lane. And also Damien Jones, it went bad as well. I saw a replay there where he went off. So
yeah, so just picking up the back end of that as we now pick up on the Vic Chan replay into the second to final corner there, J-Man. Just got it up on the inside ripple strip and I think he just got a bit of a tripod thing there going on, maybe one of the rear wheels, front wheels off the ground, and she slid around. did on a bit of a pinball off the inside wall there, and then, yeah, like you mentioned, straight into the pit. So, not good. Who's that? That's also the Mercedes-Benz, a Geordie Moss in the pits there too, I see, J-Man.
Yeah, so he opted for an early pit stop as well, so I'll give you some numbers on that in a minute, just when they come through. So we had Nev Shields was stationary for 3 minutes. Van der Ventus heading towards 4 minutes. He's still in there. We had that 36-second stop for Melling, but Vic Chan has been in there 40-odd seconds already. Moss is in there for 30 seconds, 36 seconds stationary on the jack. Vic checks out at 45 on the jack. So, geez, Melling might come into the play here. Where is he? He's coming down pit straight. So Melling's only just behind Vic Chan.
And he didn't have an overly long stop, did he?
Who, Melling?
Yeah.
36, but he had some issues before he went into the pit lane.
That's
There's
right.
more to that story. There's definitely more to that story.
Yeah, just wonder whether that car's still a little wounded.
Yep. However, back to the action. Mitchy Haas, Matty Nipris, Tony Spence. That's what has got my radar going at the moment. And Carson Wadsworth, I had seen on one of the shots, they're not far off the back of Matty Nipris as well. So that could very much become a 4 or 5 way battle, I think, for those positions.
Pretty
now,
quickly, yeah.
It puts Webley in a good position, 2.3 ahead of Aerosmith, and Aerosmith 2.8 seconds ahead of Spence. And the way that the both of those two have been driving out at first and second, that's not likely going to change bar a pit stop catastrophe. But Perkins, Thackeray, Rusty Shackelford up to P13 with obviously a few early stoppers in the likes of Chan, Moss and Co. I think that's probably going to shake out a little bit. But Rusty out there banking low 36s, so he's competitive with his peers at the moment, the likes of Lee Perkins and Eddie Thackeray. He's right in the hunt, and he's managed to hold off Brad Robinson for the better part of what has been the first 11 minutes.
And Brad, with no shortage of enthusiasm either, I tell you, J-Man, was literally peppering the back of that car a few times over the past 6 laps. So, yeah, working hard. And clearly not having to start from the pit lane is probably handy.
Yeah, I reckon Nippers was on a bad tyre there. He just couldn't do anything with it, so he's decided to get out of it. And
so Nippers
maybe get on that tyre that he was talking about, that was the quality tyre. So we'll see what the stop looks like. Right now, there's been nothing better than a 36 second stop. So if Nippers comes in there and banks a 31 or 32 right now, that could serve him pretty well.
Well, that's...
against what is the battle of Tony Spence, Mitchy Haas, because that's who he's dealing with. So I'll come back to you and the viewers to see what those pit stops look like, because he was right with them when he came in the lane. And what does it look like for traffic? If he comes out now, he'll only have probably 3 cars. It was a 32-second stop, so it was a very, very efficient stop, and he is going to come out in fresh air.
Yeah, well, perfect scenario there.
Yep.
And now we look for that advantage, if any.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to look through the field and see if there's anybody timing-wise that's probably... For me, it'll be Jacob Wadsworth at the moment. Jacob's tucked up in behind Sam Carson, but I think he's got a number underneath that Ferrari that can run probably 2 to 3 tenths quicker than those two in front of him. So just watch for Wadsworth to maybe just consistently... This is another Giga Racer, to keep chipping away at Sam Carson and Mitchy Haas's margin there. He's about 1.2, 1.1 off the pack, off of those guys, but I reckon he's going to chip away. I think he's got a good number. Last lap through.
Yeah, good point there. Just in the chat box there from Shane Fodado, mentioning that Tony Spence will have a full complement of tyres to use too.
Yeah, now that was bad laps for those guys. I'm not sure what happened to Haas, Carson and Wadsworth there, but they ran 140s, 138, 139, knowing that the average pace out there at the moment, you could argue, is probably low 36s.
Yep.
to low 37s. So I'm not sure what happened with those guys.
Yeah,
but,
they've got off the gas, haven't they?
Something's happened. Perkins and Jones in the lane also too, mate, at the moment.
Nippers just sneaking it past. I think that would have been Smith, actually. One of the back runners there.
Yeah, Ryan. Yep. So what does that do for Jones, Perkins? So Jones with a 33, Perkins with a 32. Pretty good stops. Very good, actually. So a real mixed bag, different strategies playing out on this one. Sam Carson. I was so close to catching up on the back of Mitchy Haas there. Just grabbed a little bit of kitty litter on the second to last corner. Just probably compromised the run on the front straight.
Just tried a little too hard.
Yep.
Wadsworth in the pit.
So Nippris, some 3k an hour faster than we saw them running in race 1. So he's 261 k an hour through the speed trap to be the fastest car in the GTR. That thing is quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's that? Wadsworth to the lane. Now this is the guy that I said that I think was tracking really nicely, and then all 3 or 4 of them had bad lap times, bad numbers.
Well, they did, J-Man. As we got eyes on Spence now. Should I say Mitchy House, actually. Spence was pulled away a little.
33 for Wadsworth. This is going to put him close to, I think, what'll be Damien Jones and Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith unpit stopped. Jones is. So a lot more shaken out this one. Now, Rusty Shackelford right up and behind Thackeray there. Pulled away from Robinson now, Davo. So the Holy Roller has got a bit of consistency at the moment.
Yep.
Just tucked up and behind there. Currently P9. There's obviously a fair few that are pit stopped in front, but still looking good. And is that
it's him rolling into the pits. Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah, I think his momentum forward through the pack. I saw that. I
think we've got a speeding infringement maybe coming there.
And
could be a drive-through for the 76 car.
Robinson covering off immediately right behind him too, giving him a little bit of a wave on the way past there. I saw that too. But look, I think his momentum forward in the pack sort of plateaued there a little bit. But when he got to Thackeray, he sort of found his pace in the field there, and it was sort of moving forward a little bit slower.
Yep. Okay,
Carson Carson just only half a second off the back of Haas, and even closer sometimes. Kenny Simpson very close in behind Phil Davison, and has been for some time. Mustang v Aston Martin there.
There we go. Stop go 30 for Rusty Shackelford.
Ouch,
Gets
you
a
called
whack on the knuckles for his so that'll send him at 30 seconds right to the back.
Robinson comes out, okay, and he's got Chan right on his side immediately.
Yep.
So he's come out right in the thick of it, steps aside. That's Geordie Moss just up in front of
Chan
him.
up in the marbles.
Can he make it work? No, he's...
Lose. Tough call. Who's that? We've got Tony Spence. Now, this is the car, Tony Spence. I talked to you earlier about what this would look like with the likes of Matty Nippris getting out and looking for an undercut. Went probably 3 laps earlier. I think, this will be the 3rd lap. Went 3 laps earlier than Tony Spence, and he was on the back of Spence and Haas. So this is a big play here to see where they'll end up and what that's done. Nippris has run into, I guess, a little bit more traffic. He's going to get a run up the inside of the Nelson Marine car of Nev Shields here. Tony Spence still on the jacks. He's kind of at the end of the lane, so he'll be off the limiter pretty quickly. But here comes Nippers. Rounds him up really easy. So that's the first of the two. So that is Tony Spence. Done the business there. The undercut worked really well. It'll be Wally. What can he do with the likes of Mitchie Haas, who's now starting to succumb to the pressure of Sam Carson? So, and this is important because this could be what a potential podium looks like for Nippers. He was in this position in race 1.
That's right. Yep.
You know, likely to be back up there at the back end of this 40. So looking forward to that.
He worked pretty hard for his position at that.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I think all of those boys up the front did, to be honest. Very, closely contended.
Webley in
front
the
fielder.
pits.
Yeah, Webley in the pits. There you go.
Can he do
Leader of
better
the
than
race.
45 seconds this time? Yeah, Rusty is paying for that trip to Amsterdam. If he's been taxed, he's got to go on for 30.
Oh, Jordan Moss putting the pressure on or what? On Perkin. Just getting the slightest bit of overlap on that huge bonnet of the Mercedes. He just sneaks the nose of it up on the rear quarter of the Ferrari, but not enough.
So 35-second stop for Webley. So not great, but not overly bad. But look, it's probably around on average 3 seconds slower than what Stewie could probably do if he comes in and gets it all right. Stewie will be unaware of that. We heard during the Hotbox interviews that Vic Chan was unaware of Webley's misfortunes in the pit lane in race 1. So just remember that number there, 35, did I say? Yeah, 35. And if Stewie comes in here and banks a 32 based on the number that was separating those two out on track pre-pit stops, Stewie could go to the top here. He could gain track position, but I think he probably needs to do it.
Yeah, just get an
potentially sooner rather than later.
Oh, definitely get an eye on this Perkins Moss Robertson battle as they come up behind some of the lapped cars. Uncle Joe being one of them.
3 wide.
Oh,
2 wide there.
And then I think
who's that in there?
And then I think that Smith is the next one. That is Brad Robinson tucked in behind Moss.
Robinson.
And Vic Chan, I think, is just in behind this. But look at the melee as they try and weave their way through
Robinson picks both their pocket, and I think Chan's going to do the same. Chan did the same because Moss got caught awkwardly with Uncle Joe there. And he's going to get caught awkwardly with Ryan as well.
It looks like Chan's through, or is he?
Yeah, he's struggling with that race 2.
Not enough overlap from Chan. Yields, pulls in behind the Mercedes.
I don't think he's got the tyre under him.
Well, the only reason I think he was even up beside Moss was because of that little, like a little exchange he was having with Joe in the skyline. So
look at that.
Very quick.
Webley only just came out in front of Nippers there, mate. So Matt Nipperis and Brandon Webley 8th and 9th out on track. So that has shaken right out. So it's all down to Stewie here. I think Stewie, if he can come in and do a 31 or 32 second stop, that'll match Matt Nipperis's stop. His was a 32. You saw what it did for Nipperis, and he was behind.
You make it sound so easy when you say it like that. The 31 or 2.
Yeah. I don't know about the 31, but the 32's well doable. Plenty of guys do it. I mean, already Nips has done it, Spencer's done it, Nash has done it, Thackeray, Perkins, and Robinson all on 32-second stops. So come on, Stewie, you can do this. If he can go 2-1 here in race 2, that'll be a great start to his campaign. However, if he's dealing with Webley here, you're looking at a potential 1-4 for Webley versus potentially a 2-2 for Stewie. So mathematicians, get your abacuses out if you know what the point structure is. It's going to be tight going out of round 1. Who leads this thing? I can tell you it's going to be super tight, and I hope it stays that way all season.
If this is anything to go by, it's going to be a great season, J-Man.
Yep. So there you go. Nipperis and Webley through on Spence now. Remember that it was pre-pit stops. It was Spence, Haas, Niparis. Now Niparis has passed them both. So, and chasing Brandon Webley. Nash Net Pro-Am leader, yeah, it would look that way. Good recovery here from Steve Melling after that early incident, which was effectively end of lap 1 that saw that car in a world of trouble.
Yeah, came in early and a sort of a reasonably lengthy pit stop. Not really major, but definitely lost time there.
Carson in the lane.
Oh, so close from Robinson.
Very close, yeah.
Oh, and he's actually put himself off there a little bit.
He has.
Balked the car of Jordan Moss.
And Vic Chan.
And Vic Chan.
Benefactor. He'll be like, I was here this time 2 laps ago,
it's
boys.
like freaking deja vu.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Okay, yeah, back to business, right? Follow me.
Yeah. Carson, he's a 34-second stop, so that's not going to do him any favours in the battle, which will be effectively with, I think was Carson. Who was he with? That was with Wadsworth and co, but they haven't stopped yet. Oh no, they have. Sorry, no, it wasn't Wadsworth. Okay, so that's a good, actually, that's worked out good for Carson. No, he's still behind Wadsworth and Spence. Okay, on corrected order. So, status quo. For me, it's Stewie. Stewie, what you? Oh, let's have a look at the numbers. Stewie's lapping 1:36.1 last lap round. Webley 35.9. Niparis 35.7. Okay, so there's a deficit there. So anything that he might make on stationary stop time is probably going to be negated by track. So he needs to maintain this track position. I think he's got to go. Morse code this guy, Davo. Oh, who's that? Is that Robertson? Underneath fixing there?
Yeah. That's just hard to walk away from. We pick up on Mr. Niparis. He is trying to sneak up in underneath the wing of Brandon Webley at the moment, as we just saw Phil Davison pull off into the pits in the back of shot there.
Yeah, well, Webley's 59.3 seconds behind Hugh Aerosmith. An optimal stop is 55 seconds. So just digest that, Davo.
Watch that space.
So he's 59 seconds behind. An optimal stop is 55. Gives you the mathematics.
A little under 13 minutes to run. We would expect to see that anytime.
Here he goes. Here he goes. He needs to arrest the speed of this car. He needs to be accurate in the lane. Gets it down.
No mucking around.
Down a speed. I'll stick with him.
We will stick to this battle here that is Perkins, Chan, Robinson, Moss. I think even Collins is tagged onto the back of it now, just for good measure. It is a freaking freight train. It's a bloody fast one at that. These guys, only a couple of cars separating them, and it's been like this for at least the last 4 or 5 laps. Super disciplined stuff. Change of positions. Talk about change of positions. Jordan Moss back and to and fro. Vic Chan to and fro. Brad Robinson there, ever ready to pick up the pieces wherever possible.
The 26 car and the 116 car come around the final here. They come down pit straight. Come on, Stu. He's off the jacks. Here he goes. It's going to be a race into turn 1. He's off the limiter. They're going to hover up on him. He's going to have the rights to the inside. Don't outbrake yourself. Cover it off. Beautifully places the car in the middle of the apex to hold Webley and Matty Niparis off. So that was fantastic. That's the difference on what is a 32-second stop, plays a 35 against Brandon Webley. Webley will be ruining his pit stops tonight.
Yeah.
It's put him in all sorts of pressure because sprint car pace, he's had the pace out on track.
Yep.
Just hasn't had
Yep.
the accuracy, the 1% accuracy at pit stop time. And look what that's done. It's given track position to Stewie. Stewie's got a lot of work to do over the next 11 odd minutes. But look, from what we saw at the back end of race 1, it's going to be on.
Well, look, when you're chasing guys, look at this lot. These three, when you're chasing these guys that they're just so equally paced, J-Man. They just, you got to make it in the pit stops.
Oh, Nipper's here. Oh, I like that alternate line. You see, just swung out a little wider, went for a cut back, tried to get that all that horsepower down square off the left-hander there and chase Webley down to this chicane here. So, going to be a tough gig here.
Oh, it is.
Oh, and what do we got here? What have we got here? We've got some Tim Nash up to P6. Mate, he has moved his way forward.
And copping heaps of pressure from DJ as we see Robinson wide on that same left-hander. He was the lap before. This time Mossy worked him.
Webley has a look on Stewie here.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna hang around too long, Webley. You know, like he's gonna want to get this done and move forward. He knows Nicholas is just gonna want to do the same thing. These guys.
Yep.
Want to get it done pretty soon.
Damien Jones, Timmy Nash. That's a good battle there. Yeah, that's a great battle.
Oh, there's plenty going on, Damien.
Webley hating life right now. Webley will be just, I mean, he's up for it. He's up for it. But look at Stewie. Stewie's just doing nothing wrong at the moment. Put in the car. Yeah. Right from when he left the pit lane, he put the car in exactly the right place that he needed to.
Yeah, perfect. Stayed inside the blend line, kept it down on the inside of the circuit, and just really did own that line of the corner. Get it off, warm it up, and go. Webley wanted to go him straight away, but wasn't able to make it stick. And Webley deep into the marbles.
Oh, this is going to
hurt him.
A good chance here. He's got to watch his
re-entry. He's got to get him here easily. So Nipper's passed. Nice work. Can't afford to make those mistakes, J-Man.
A little bit of a fracture there, a little bit of a crack appearing in the Giga Racer there. So we've seen a couple. We've seen Vic Chant, all sorts of struggles in race 2. You got another one down country drinking rums. A couple going a bit wayward here. It's a great team, but geez, where are you, Shano? You need to pull it together for the boys. Stewie Aerosmith is doing a fantastic job as well, but Nippers will come, I'm sure, and challenge that. But Damien Jones, Timmy Nash, that's a great battle. So that is a Pro-Am battle as well between Jarks and Nash there. Chan, Moss. Oh, what's going on there? Robinson. No, who's that? Who did I just see there going backwards? Was that Uncle Joe?
Yeah, I think it's one of the lap cars. It is the car of Joe. Just getting out of the road of this train that we were talking about earlier. And again, it's been another 2 or 3 laps since I mentioned it. These guys are just at it. It's no break.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. And then who's that?
And the speed.
A little bit further back.
The speed of it.
Ben Collins.
Yeah, so it goes back to, I think it's Collins, the Lamborghini rounding out the back. Car there, so Perkins to Collins. Very quick.
Oh, Jones, Nash. I'm
getting closer and closer, isn't it? Jones, really good form tonight in the Aston.
Yeah, look, aggressive under brakes. See the way that car's set up, the yaw on it, it really pitches hard on the nose when he gets on the brakes. A lot of travel in the suspension on the back of that Aston Martin. But,
allows him to get it.
Is up to the task at the moment.
Allows him to get it nice and straight very quickly, get on the pedal, and start to feed that back to this big battle. This big Perkins, Chan, Moss, Robinson, Collins. Robinson again. Look at them all peel out of that final corner. Bam! Here we go. Moss
There's
on
Moss
Chan.
on the outside of Chan.
And the power. Just look at the grunt. Can he turn the damn thing?
That's a long way around there. Chan had all the camber there, so you can just get the power down a little bit harder. Oh,
Perkins have been over there just going, look, just go, guys. Carry on back there.
Yeah.
And he's like we saw earlier in the night, just that little bit of a, side by side stuff through 1 or 2 corners. It means it equates to like 3 or 4 car lengths between him and Chan and Perkins. So very quickly.
Damien Jones, he is searching. He is
very much searching. Very hungry.
Yeah. So watch him come out of here, get the power down straight. Put a lot of pressure on. You watch how aggressive he is under brakes down here. Okay, gets out of a little bit early, trying to set the car up.
Oh, but he showed the nose. Really did force Nash to think about where he was placing the car. He almost defended a little bit. He really easy to go deep there defending.
Oh, he was really
very
close.
Very close.
So I think the mid-corner speed at the moment of the Aston on the way into the Apex does look a little better than the Ferrari, but the Ferrari off the corner
it looks like Nash is covering.
Really good job.
He's trying to get out of his slip. Look at him, holds mid-track all the way to T1.
So Stewie Aerosmith took the race lead with around 11 minutes to go. He's now halved that gap. It's just under 5 minutes. He's still leading this race by around 9/10 to a second. He'll be starting to believe now. He did this last week, brought it home with a few laps to go. He'll be starting to believe. Nippers will be still trying to bridge that gap.
He will be.
almost looks conceded here.
He does. Tough pick. Slightest of mistakes. Bad pit stop in the race. Was that him? Again, a little bit slippery out of the exit. Has he got no tyre left on that car? And Damien Jones again on Nash. We're getting, it's the last race. It's the last stint of the night. We're winding down, 4 minutes to go. This is where your tyre choices make the difference. Chan dropping.
Yeah, Perkins, Chan going
way back.
Just happened there.
Let's try and get a replay on. It looks like we caught this. So it was Perkins in front of Chan initially.
Oh, Stewie's so sideways. Sorry, mate. I know we're in a cutaway at the moment, but Stewie's so sideways out of turn 1 there, and just really tempting fate. Shows how hard he's pushing to be there, because Nipris on a charge right now. He's got it down to 4 to 5/10 of a second. So they'll know that there's only around 2 laps to go after this one.
Absolutely.
As we see that replay there with Perkins and Chan.
Yeah, just a little fortunate the boys getting together there, allowing Moss and the likes of Moss, Brad Robinson, and Collins as well, I think, slipped past. Although I think Collins might have already
got through.
Yielded to, looks like Robinson. So there's been change of position. But we're used to this stuff. Last 5 minutes of the race, ramps up as usual. Jones on that.
Bloody Tim Nash is stingy, isn't he? He doesn't give anything away. Oh, look at this. Right round the outside. It's a long way there, but he's just really showing that he's there now, isn't he?
It's got nothing.
Okay, and up the top, you got to argue right now, with only a couple to go, that this is a battle for first place between Stu Aerosmith and Matty Nipperis, because they've kind of dropped Webley off a little bit now. Webley around 1.2 seconds off, and the way that these guys are driving, 35.6 for Stu Aerosmith, 35.6 for Matty Nipperis, 35.6 for Webley. But it's just track position now, and these guys are driving so accurate, it's going to be hard to do anything. Damien Jones, though, Tim Nash, is there an opportunity?
Well, there is, but he hasn't made it yet. Here he goes. Again.
Ooh, big look.
Big brakes on the Ferrari.
Both of them deep.
Again, Jones with the setup on that car, able to pick the throttle up nice and early, keeps that car tucked under the Aston, tucked underneath the Ferrari. He's able to square the corner off a lot earlier than the Ferrari. Although and I can see it in Nash's driving. It looks like he's covering him.
I think he is, and it's back the lap time off a bit there too. That was a 37 and a high 36, and you've got Eddie Thackeray just starting to range up on them with probably only one more lap to go after this, running low 36s. So they need to press on. He'll bridge that gap, that 1.4 seconds pretty quickly if they carry on battling hard. Now Nipris all over the back of Stewie Aerosmith. He's as close as he's been. As I just had a big glitch.
Yeah, out of the final corner there, and this next lap coming will be the final lap. I would suspect. Yes.
Stewie Aerosmith on that final lap. And he tucks it in nice and tight to the apex turn one. No mistakes there. So he's just got to drive it on back. He banked a 35.9 that lap there. Plays a 35.6 from Nipris and a 36.0 from Webley.
It's close stuff, isn't it?
It's super tight. He's just got to bring this one on home. Nash has just got a defensive job for one more lap on Damien Jones. A little bit of positional changing still. Oh, that is Brad Robinson and Ben Collins go side by side down through the bowl. Sweeper right. The final second to last corner. Final corner. They were side by side. A little bit of paint exchange. Nipris now 0.2 of a second. Building into the last lap. Is there a position that he's comfortable to have a look?
Possibly.
If it's anywhere, it's probably here, and he's not close enough. Stewie looks so good through this final chicane.
Oh, look, just not making any mistakes. I mean, this whole round, both the races, it's unbelievable.
Is there traffic ahead? Are they going to run into traffic? Who is that up the road?
Maybe that looks like Smith's car.
Ryan, can they negate around?
Ryan, aware of the situation. Does he move out of the road?
No, he's going to stay.
Headlights are flashing from Aerosmith. He tries to get out of it. Is that just enough?
No, he's going to hang on here. He's going to hang on. He's going to grab the draft.
Oh, very awkward.
Super tight. Stewie gets it. Gets it over Matty Nipris over Brandon Webley. Tony Spence brings home a solid P4. He did a great job there to do the job.
Yeah, it just turns up. Bam. Thanks for coming, guys. Fourth position, Wadsworth in fifth. Here we go.
Nash, can he hold off Damien Jones? And look at that. That is Eddie Thackeray.
That's Thackeray.
Right in the hunt there. I said that he'd negate that 1.4 seconds with the lap to go.
Like you said, look like...
It's close. Look how tight it is. He pulls out.
Oh!
Nothing in it. Absolutely nothing in the margin between Timmy Nash and Damien Jones, Eddie Thackeray. So well done to Timmy Nash, P6, Jones, 7, 8, 9th Carson, 10th, Jordan Moss. And then we go Robertson, Collins, Melling, Simpson, Baker, Perkins, Chan. Chan on a mixed bag tonight. Goes P1, race 1, goes P17, race 2. Enright, Turner, Davison, Shackelford. After that 30-second stop go, Uncle Joe, Ryan Smith, Mitchie Haas. Went bad for Haas because he was right up there in the hunt.
He was.
Also, Nelson Marine. What a fantastic night of racing. But that was so good. I'm not going to waste any time. I am going to grab... where is... Missed it. Okay, I think we are here. Is that Brandon?
Yo.
Yo, we got you on comms. Mate, what a fantastic night of racing. You need to give your pit crew a tune-up, mate. To practice all week because they're a little slow on the wheel nuts tonight. Otherwise, you had insane pace out there, Brandon. Incredible stuff, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I do wrong, but I just can't seem to do pit stop. So
there you go. You heard it there, live TV. Webley drops the F-bomb. He's the first one of the season, so we'll give him 5 points.
My bad.
You're right, mate. You're right. It's not PG rated anyway. We just do our level best. But mate, what fantastic racing! The company you're keeping up there at the moment: Stu Aerosmith, Matty Nipris, Vic Chan, What a fantastic night of racing, Brandon. Great way to start the season.
Yeah. Oh man, I was getting pretty frustrated with the pit stops. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I can't seem to figure it out. So.
Yeah, well, look, traditionally, mate, you know,
anyway.
we've called you racing a fair bit, and it's not something that I would have said was synonymous with Webley to get it wrong in the pit lane. I think, you know, I've seen you multiple times in battles, and you're pretty accurate around that area. So, but hey, look, we'll look at the positives. Yourself and that Mustang. We know how familiar you are with that car. You've got that thing working really well. I think it's going to be a strong season, Webley.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, my tyres were absolutely cooked by the end of that because there's only 3 sets, so it was a bit rough at the last half of the last race.
Just got to applaud you guys too, mate. The pace you're running, those 35s and even low 36s at the back end on worn tyres, just how clean the racing was, mate, is nothing short of exceptional, mate. We've become used to seeing it, but you know, it's all credit to you guys the way you conduct yourself out on track. Thus those intense opening laps and how close you are is very impressive. But equally as impressive was your sprint pace tonight. When you did have fresh air, you made margins. So sort out those pit stops, mate, and the boys are in trouble.
Yeah. All right, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, Brandon Webley there, P3 race 2. What a great job. And then no stranger already to the hot box will be Mr. Matty Nipris. Once again, gets a chance to come and have a chat with the boys. You got us on comms, Matt?
Certainly do, guys.
Mate, another mega race and a lot of pressure put back on Stewie Arrowsmith at the back end there too, mate.
Yeah, great race.
Very good stuff. Very accurate pit stop. That 32-second stop put you in the hunt with Webley post pit stops there. All of those things factored in. So, how are you feeling after that performance tonight, mate?
Very tired, actually. There was a lot of effort being put into that. I think it was a 30 odd minute stint trying to catch Mr. Arrowsmith and deciding to be a little bit smarter and work with Webley to try and close the gap on Arrowsmith. So yeah, a lot happier with that race and very satisfied with the result.
Oh, mate, well, it's fantastic. You know, you're going to walk out of round 1 being mathematically right in the hunt at the top end of town, and like you've obviously seen it out there. I'm not sure how much research you did on the field, Matt, before joining this league, but these guys do run hard and fast but fair, and mate, you've fit the mold really nicely, you know, to go and run with those guys. I just said to Webley, I was so impressed with the opening laps out there, Matt. Just how fast you guys are going, how close you are, and how much respect there is. It just makes for great TV, mate, so well done.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Looking forward to the next one. Hopefully, I can make sure that this is not a fluke. I tend to do really well at the start, and then I fall off a cliff traditionally. But we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll be watching, mate. We'll be watching.
Yeah. No, awesome stuff, Matt. Look, enjoy that one, mate, because you well earned that one tonight. Well done.
Awesome
stuff. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks,
Cheers,
mate.
All right. Cometh the man. He's making it a habit, this guy, and like, I don't know if you can hear the smile on my face, but a bit of a Stewie fan. Do a bit of racing with this guy, but Stewie, you backed it up, mate.
Oh, stop it!
It's just
come on.
It's just too easy, Stewie.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's not us. It's not us winning the races, Stu.
No, we're just watching. But hey, look, mate. Once again. For me, that was all about the 1% stuff. You were very accurate in the pit stop. You ran longer than those boys. You looked for an optimal overcut. I was calling that, you know, the gap was 58.8 to 59.3 seconds. The difference between yourself and Webley, an optimal stop at 32 seconds on the jacks would see you stationary, and then outright time of 55. So you had the margin. So I'm not sure how aware you were of the numbers.
Yeah, mate.
What as you were running, but mate, you played the percentages perfectly, and then even when you came out of the pit stops, you placed the car in the middle of the apex at turn 1. I thought was just fantastic, mate. So congratulations, well done.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. There was a lot of sweat and a lot of heartbeats coming out the pits there. I knew that if I blew it too deep, that Webley just come straight up the inside and it would be all over. Because once at the start of that race, he sort of started to check out. And I sort of lost control, lost touch with them. So, yeah, I knew that was super important to try and defend that off, because we all know ZANDV0ORT, it's a bit like last week, Hungaroring, it's very, very hard to pass. But, unlucky to Vic and the other guys that might have had coming together, but awesome. I'll take that.
Yeah, so just before we let you go, Stewie, just so the viewers that maybe aren't hopping into a sim rig every week, just to give them a little bit of insight to some stuff going on. So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about, obviously, when you're going out there and about that stuff, and you're looking to hit your marks. I know as a former sim racer, you're looking for those little things that you're just trying to do lap in, lap out. But more importantly, just give us an insight to how acutely aware you are of your surroundings with that. At that point when you're leading the race, how aware are you about where Webley and Matty Nipris are on track and respective distance and time? Can you see the number? Have you got the number up, or are you just out there going as fast as you can?
Boring, but I turn it off. I find not knowing is better.
Yep.
Just that way there I can just focus on my own, doing my own thing, repeat, and then hopefully when it all pans out, then I'm in front or close to them. So I need it off because I think if I had it on, it would distract me and I'd go backwards.
And then those final laps, like once Webley's had a little bit of a late break and run through the chicane, and now you've got the Datsun behind you of Matty Nipris. Much mirror work going on, and have you already worked out at that point where the strengths and weaknesses of your car are versus your competition? Are you looking to try and consolidate in certain areas so that you're not under attack, and then maybe attack where the car's strong? Are you already at that point with the car already? I know it's early in the season, but you're already feeling like the car's got strengths in certain places?
Yeah. I think the last turn saved me all night, like it did last week at Hungaroring. I was rubbish at the T1 at Hungaroring, but really good at the last corner, so it saved me, in nearly every lap. And tonight was the same. I noticed with Nipris, like he was super quick and he'd range in, but once we got sort of out of the back chicane, through the double rights there, I would pull a couple of tenths on him every time. So I knew that no matter how close he ranged up in the lap, that I just had to nail that last corner, and I'd buy myself another lap of breathing, if that makes sense. So yeah. But mate, they made me work for it. So big ups to those guys. I'm not used to being up the front here, so I'm pretty stoked. But God, they make you work for it. It's a bit rough.
Those are the sweet moments, mate. No, enjoy it, Stewie, because they aren't easily obtained, and I'm sure you'll get plenty of accolades from your peers, mate. That they know what it takes to get out there and win one. And you're in the right form at the moment, and things look good. So long may it last, Stewie. And mate, it was absolutely entertaining, and we'll let you go and celebrate that one. And I think we've got a little bit of a addition to the back end of this broadcast, where we've got to go and pick a livery skin pack winner podium and then an overall prize. So we'll press on and do that. You go and enjoy yourself, Stewie. And once again, fantastic drive, mate. Well deserved. Like I said, long may it last.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And thanks, MatchFit and Race Command and everyone in the background. Awesome. Great night. Thanks.
Awesome,
Stewie. Well done, matey.
Stu Arrowsmith, thank you very much.
All righto. So, Davo, that was a fantastic night of race, but back to business.
Well, yes.
I'm not present. You and I had some work to do this week, and we might as well get the show on the road with this.
It's becoming it's becoming a regular thing, yes. But yeah, look, we're happy again. MATCHFIT Entertainment giving away $100 as a gift to the best custom painted car in the series. Obviously, this is round one. We got to see them all out on track. Obviously, last week in the shakedown, and again tonight here. So we had a chance to sort of, look over things, and we've come up with 3 finalists. You'll see it up there on screen. First car, I think, is the Uncle Joe Racing Skyline, a J-Man, great looking car. Second car was Vic Chan. He actually took it out last year in the last season. And the third car was, I think it's a Damien Jones car, as that just scrolls through there. The Aston Martin, the 227 Red Bull Aston Martin, all fantastic looking cars, J-Man. But yes, it was some hours, wasn't it?
Yeah,
perusing 30 odd cars.
Yeah, a lot of factors went in there, when we look at the stuff, and without giving away too much, to the painters for maybe next season. But you know, we certainly look for different stuff, and you know what appealed to us, I think with the cars this year was, you know, the originality goes a long way. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet, and that's completely enterable. You know, and there's a lot of good stuff that
Absolutely.
gets modified from the internet, and I think it's all worthy. You'll see Damien Jones' car there. They've done a great job of modifying something that was on the internet, and then the other thing as well, you can see on the graphic there, this is our 10-year anniversary this year, 24th of February. Asrnz becomes 10 years old, so that's a pretty cool milestone. And some of these drivers out there really taking the time to acknowledge that and putting it on the cars' liveries and stuff. So so that's really cool. It's not a requisite, but yeah, good to see a lot of product placement recognition there with Asrnz, with Race Command, MatchFit Entertainment, and the like. And we do appreciate when the guys are repping their own stuff, like the likes of Vic's car there with the Giga Races, the newly formed team.
Yeah, of course.
So there was a lot that went into it, but for us, it's you know, like a lot of the theme for us is all about race car, and there was some fantastic paint jobs out there.
There was. Yeah,
Once again.
yeah, it was hard. It was hard to get it down to a short list, and yeah, look, even harder to get it down to like just these three finalists. So, and like we usually agree on stuff too, and I think this year we were sort of split between two cars. It took us a while to nut that one out as well. So
it would have taken an extra half a day, I think, to get through it. We had to
a couple more beers. Before we
yeah, I had to reach out and have a talk to some people and see, you know, where stuff came from and what was what, and then I think it was pretty
obvious.
definitely unanimous once we came to the decision. So I'll leave that part for the reveal up to you, Davo. So
okay, yeah. So after much deliberation, as we were just talking about, and thanks for you guys for hanging around to watch this stuff. The winner is the Uncle Joe number 42 Skyline, Joe Grimmer's car.
And that car painted by Steve Rees.
Steve Rees. Okay, there you go. So after, like we said, looking at multiple skins for days on, this is the winner, and the winner of $100. We're going to give these guys, Uncle Joe, $100 for driving around in the best looking car on track. Thanks from MatchFit for that one, guys. Awesome stuff. Well done. Joe, man,
was cool.
what do you like about this thing?
So for me, some of the things that probably really stood out for this car was, you know, it was very simplistic in its layers. I mean, there's I think 2 or 3 tones, sheen levels of red of the red. So we've got satin, we've got some gloss, and then there's just they've changed up the from the burgundy to the red stripe on the bottom. But for me, the UJR logo was nothing short of professional. I think Uncle Joe Racing, whoever came up with that logo, you know, that could be in a business sense seen on a vehicle.
Works, doesn't it?
You know, commercially, it's such a good logo. Product placement, I thought, was very, very good. Like just the symmetry of some of the stuff there, and then it wasn't underdone, but it wasn't overdone as well. So I think, I thought, you know, just the homage to Ortec, you know, big time, long time Nissan tuning company, and then just some of the motor logos and stuff. Yeah, just worked very, very well with the car. So there was a nice balance to the car. After seeing it out on track tonight, I think it does look well. It really fits the Nissan skin nicely.
Definitely ticked all the boxes for us, didn't it, mate?
Yep.
So nice work, and congrats to Uncle Joe, and of course Steve for painting the car. You guys might have to work something out, eh?
Yeah.
But yes, winner for the best livery in the 2025 Asrnz GT3 Season 1, Uncle Joe. Awesome stuff,
Yeah,
Joe Grimmer.
Well done, Joe. Steve as well for painting that car. Fantastic. And, you know, and in on reflection, what a fantastic night of racing too. And cheers to
absolutely.
everybody for hanging in there. You know, like we'll We'll shake hands, ring, Russ. It's been a few months since we've been
yeah, little. It's been a
in
little.
the studio. So
It's been a minute. But yeah, back in the swing of things, and obviously kicking off with the ASRNZ boys this week for round 1 at Zandvoort. I think we're back with MATCHFIT's back with Rainlight.
Yeah, back with Rainlight again for a season.
Monday night. So like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Hit the notifications so you can keep up with what's going on. But that's about it for. Oh, where are we at next week? I don't know. It's a surprise. We'll see you all next week, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us again here tonight. MATCHFIT
back at Laguna Seca next week, mate.
Laguna Seca, we love that place. Thanks, MATCHFIT. Thanks, Race Command. Thanks, ASRNZ. And we will see you all again next week.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.